And so that little admin thing out of the way. Hello everyone, and welcome back once again to some more Worlds Upon the Wind. With this game, I am enjoying so much. I've been looking forward to stream kind of ever since last stream ended. We have so much stuff to do. We have so many animals to look for, particularly a carp somewhere, but I want to get as many of the other companions as I can. And while we're on the way, I was also overviewing some of the remaining shard cultures that we still have to get to. And I was thinking, we have a couple of knowledge-based ones here. This one does involve the Butterbur Extract Relic, which we haven't seen yet, but the event The Giant Butterbur just has a distill into an extract option, which I assume has to be the correct one for that. But I was actually looking at this other knowledge one and thinking I might pin this one, the Paper Distributors. So this will require me to get at least 300 knowledge, as well as at least 2 notice board developments. I don't have this yet, but it is a town square location, and I'm assuming it's knowledge generating, given the general theming of this shard culture. 2 paper studio developments, which is the Scrubland one, the high knowledge yield there. And a woodblock print studio, which I've also not built. I think it might be this other one at the end of like public school archives. And then it's this other unique tier 1 up here, which is knowledge based. So 2 town squares, 2 scrubland, 1 large building, 300 knowledge. And that one should just kind of continue on in the background as we search for more animals. And we have all our skills and everything unlocked. I'm pretty sure the deck's all good to start. Yeah, that's right. We grab this one. Soul, life, stability, connection, spirit, harmony, and satisfy. That's a good glyph. So without any further ado, let's embark. Hey, we're not taking the dead branch. I'm probably not taking the traveler's pouch either. I don't really like the traveler's pouch that much. So instead, I guess we're just going for the census tag. Reduce all foray goals by 10%. Okay, so what are we looking at here? Okay, scrubland all out on this side. Then large building or a small building under the clouds? I think that's just a small building. There's a large building and a town square up there. There should be a second town square somewhere. Is it hidden up here? Oh, this is not looking good. We might not actually be able to get the shard culture I pinned. No, second one up there. Okay. Well, we need to get right to the far side of the shard then. Like, both the town squares we need are up here along with the large building. No other large buildings anywhere. Yeah, scrubland. Yeah, this is the area we need to reach to get the culture we've pinned. So, I guess we need to head over there straight away. High adventure, do I want to grab the rocky cliff and the swamp? Yeah, we'll use the cliff straight away. Probably going to be aiming to you know what, let's go as far over in this direction as we can. Make sense we're making maximum distance. 2 new events here. This is new event, but we can see this could give us the dead branch, which we definitely do not want. So I guess it's for warning us to be careful on the breakthrough of crystal botany. And yeah, so Stalactite Cavern, climbing trial. Yeah, we are looking at... So the footbridge network has an event and would get me the safety back. That's probably what we want to aim for over there, which means I could go climbing trial over on this side too. Kind of, that'll give me still 0 safety at the end of everything. Yeah, I think I built all of these at some point on the rocky cliff, so... What are we looking for? I cannot use the blessing, not without losing even more safety than I can afford to spend. So I guess we're just dragging you there. Murky Trail. And then very likely to grab a connection with 3 connection glyphs in our starting deck at the moment, which is quite nice. And over here we are, looking to grab, just use you for the life. Bird nesting cliff. Into the climbing trail. Yep. Grab you There, use you to expand. Can't use the fill because I might grab something inappropriate on the swamp location, so instead we'll just divine. I don't even know if there's going to be any other cliffs, so I might just skip straight to the skybound stair if I can. Okay, so that's stability. That's connection, keep all. Redraw hand. Okay, good. You slot in there. Definitely need to get you in there. 2 connections. I could grab the blessing here. But if I want to get this, that's both my connections. So yeah, we're using this rather than keeping the blessing. Footbridge network. The confectioner's letter. A narrow bridge raised on stilts winds through the swamp, connecting the dry islands that comprise the settlement. A young confectioner has been walking the oldest, least used section of the bridge every dawn. Each day, a new folded poem is hidden under the sweets in his basket, bound for a lucky recipient. This morning, just before sunrise, he finds one of the stilts rotted, and the whole section around it collapsed. Okay, repair the bridge alone, deliver the letter some other way, brute help. All very low requirements here. Not much to differentiate between them here. Let's try delivering the letter some other way. The young man gives up on the bridge and looks for alternatives. Ow. Oh well. I'm going for the other one over here on the cliff, that should be fine. He ties the letter to a pebble and hurls it with all his might towards the other side. The pebble flies through the air and disappears into the dark. He hopes his lover will appreciate the romantic gesture. I like a little bit of theming on this, minus safety for throwing rocks around. Hopefully it did not bonk his lover on the head. That might be the implication there. And yeah, grabbing you in there, skybound stair. And getting a little bit of beauty too. And foray. Subamesu, swallow nest, after a bird nesting cliff. Continue 5, discard 5, huh? You know what? We will stick that in the deck. Continues nicer than fill on those number cards. Okay, Harmony over here. Yeah, we have the Fox event here, and that definitely gives me some Harmony, I think. Yeah, 2 options here, which is nice. Painting come to life. Ah, yes, the Tiger one. We have the Adventure this time, because of the first Adventure settlement. That would also be quite nice. Yep, let's start a settlement just here. Yeah, Hidden Shrine, will be good for the Harmony. Crane Nesting Grounds, also good for the Harmony. Yep, just slot you in there. Slot you in there. Yeah, traveling artist recently painted a remarkably lifelike image of a tiger. But lately, deep at night, rumbling roars have been heard coming from the shrine. Rumors are spreading. The painted beast steps out of the frame at night. Folks have been avoiding the shrine. Let's keep watching the dark to discover the truth. A few brave settlers hide in the bushes near the shrine. Yep, okay. Encounter a real live tiger, match the tiger's courage, revive the tiger's spirit. Just past midnight, a massive, very real tiger walks into the clearing. It sniffs the painting, lets out a roar, and lays down to rest. The danger remains, but thanks to the settlers' bravery, they're now aware of their fearsome neighbour. Yeah, so act brave. That's how we meet the requirements for the tiger. Yep. Connection slots in there. A fill, worst location it could go is in one of these two, and just one of them is fine. So let's use you. Oh, Crane Nesting Ground, we got it. Yeah, group of settlers walking night by the river, they hear a rustle in the reeds, follow it to the source, and discover a lone fox hesitating at the edge of the river. Yep, Surprised to be now surrounded by the villagers, not having noticed them approach. I can't imagine trying to pet it as the correct option. Let's instead stand very still. Try not to startle it. After a prolonged staring contest, the fox decides there's no escape for it but to jump into the river. Luckily, the current is gentle here, by the bank, so after a moment of struggle, the fox relaxes and drifts downstream, eventually jumping out at the next bend, soaked and annoyed. Okay, still not the correct option, got us the drift glyph. Thread connection, stores itself, change connection. Still not quite what we're looking for. So here, Hermit's Hut, we're looking for life. Divine 2. Not exactly what I'm looking for. I might grab that kind of yield off basket though. There we go, there we go. Yeah, no real radiance here. And small chance we can draw into it. So let's just use you there. Get the Hermit's Hut. And then redraw, aim for radiance. Got the continue. We can make the continue work. Might as well get the Forest Monastery too. Grab the yield off these cards. And then continue and discard. Excellent. End 4A. Yanagise, Willow Rapids, after its Weeping Willows. Okay. Strange, that is a knowledge gain, and we are looking to gain knowledge. Expand 2, discard 1. I probably don't need the blessings on this from love. Not yet, let's grab Strange. Now, adventure and knowledge. Swamp Seashore? I'm looking to get up here, so just, you know, both ways around the coast are probably barely equal. Ooh, there's an event down on that one. Bit rough yield-wise, but I mean, there's events over here too. Yeah, calling a boat and a noisy flock. And the haunting here. Yeah, add a drown glyph when an essence slot in this site is filled, so we will need to get rid of you. Let's start the foray. Yeah, glyph. Yeah. Yeah, definitely getting rid of you. So, Navigation Guild would give me some knowledge. Apothecary Hut would also give me knowledge over here. All radiant stuff. And also, looking for like change to deal with that one and to deal with this one. We definitely don't want drown. Drown is rough. I guess we're just spending you there. Deal the haunting. Now you can... Yeah, I don't think I have really the use for either of these things. I'd rather not stick that on top if I'm going to use one of these for the yield. So, yep, Murky Trail. And then I don't think there's too much else I can really do here. We could go the natural advance off the continue, which would grab us a bit of a mixture of possibilities. Like, the only thing I'll grab here is the shipping warehouse, which is good. It could grab us the Apothecary Hut or the Glowing Lantern Path. I think I'm fine with that outcome. Stick you in there. Okay, Apothecary Hut. Very nice, very nice. Now, it cannot do either of those outcomes. I'll just gain the bit of yield off these. Redraw the hand. Okay, we got the high yield continue. We did not get the radiances needed to do this. Yeah. Other options here, probably, yep, event on the shipwright's yard. What we want to go for here. Yep, so we just stick you in there. Then we can use this one here. And use the craft over here. And then just, yeah, use a bit of beauty off this. Yeah, and none of these are still unmet, so we cannot use the deer with the connection off this. So instead, we just continue Alchemist Retreat and the Shipwright's Yard. Calling a boat. The Shipwrights have finally finished their latest vessel. It's a sturdy, wide-bellied cargo ship built to haul heavy crates across the rougher waters of the Shard. The workers are gathered around, debating what name will bring the ship the most fortune. I mean, this is definitely the last Brim event, just looking at the options here. I doubt it's the opening of the Carp? It might be. And what exactly is the description on the Brim one? Honor the fish. Now, this has to be the Brim. This has to be the Brim event, not the opening of the Carp event, so name it after the sea Brim. Yes, it was. Honored the fish. The ship is named Tai, after the plump red fish which has become a symbol of abundance. The name fits the wide, sturdy vessel perfectly as it sits low in the water, heavy with cargo. The sea Brim is well on its way to being adopted as the patron spirit of good fortune. New companion unlocked. A warm-hearted companion, happiest when others succeed. Satisfy 5 points of random foray gold, amount increases by 5 every phase. Costs 2 of anything, up to 5 times per stage, plus 1 of anything per use. Okay. This helps you meet goals that you would otherwise kind of not be able to do anything about if you get a bad hand. Yep, and end foray. Yep. Hayakusayaki, 100 herb bog, after its apothecary hut. Pro tree split. Okay, so split splits. Also conjures 2 despairs. Ooh. Split is nice, but conjuring despair is rough. Even just for the essences, this one might be worth it. We are low on craft. Like, change in life are the ones we're down on. I will take split. I'll just need to be a bit careful about where exactly I use the split function of all that. New event up there and up here. I really want to go straight in this direction if I can, though. We'll stick close to the seashore. Start the survey. Yeah, don't particularly want to increase yield or expression loss. I mean, small chance this gets me more knowledge. Small chance, though I think I'd rather hang on to the productivity in case I need that for something later on. The group comes from part of the coast where tall cliffs rise above the sea. Yep. So we need to figure out how we're going to proceed. The wooden stake contains at least 2 stability. Negative glyphs do not trigger on redraw. Yeah, we're kind of unable to do the make a rope team option even. Don't have the craft. So we can't even get this wooden stake even if we wanted to. I guess we're just going for the safe option here. To hike up to the top of the cliff. Stick you in. Stick you in. Safe hike up to the top takes a whole day, but completely avoids the treacherous ledges, ensuring that no one gets hurt. A sudden downpour catches the team while they're on an exposed ridge. Oh yeah, we really needed craft, we're just not getting it. And we'll take the chance for inspiration loss, I suppose, just to keep proceeding. Shelter in the hollows. Okay, yep. No encounter with dangerous animals. Whatever had left the bones and hides fails to show up. Scouts continue on their way. Serene sunrise. Sea is calm this morning. Grey rocks painted a coral red by the magnificent sunrise. Scallop shell. Quite nice as a relic, but I kind of want to see what some of these others would do. Let us admire the view. The surveyors stay for a while to breathe in the briny scent of the seaweed and marvel at the divine beauty of the landscape. They watch the rocks turn orange, then yellow as the sun rises higher and higher. Seagull calls reach for them from beyond the rocks as the sea spray leaves little crystals of salt on their skin. Heavy burden, yep. Someone is lagging behind. Right, split the load. Yeah, we're not getting much out of this survey, are we? Just kind of continuing on. Secluded Cove. This one can give me a relic, I think, possibly? No, other cove one. Yeah, that's not a sea cave, I think. Though the open water is too dangerous to cross in tiny boats, the sheltered cove and its surrounding beaches could offer their own discoveries. Let's explore the cliffs. The scouts climb the cliffs surrounding the cove. The grass there smells sweet, and bees buzz back and forth among the scattered wildflowers. At the top of the hill, the group finds a clear pool. One of the surveyors dips her hand in it and instantly recoils as a fierce burning pain spreads across her skin. Once they take a moment to pay attention, they see the surrounding stone has been eaten away, and nothing grows within 2 paces of the pool. Yep, bad outcome. See if we can spend this on the next event to get rid of it. Tranquil Bay. Scouts find themselves under a sunset sky full of pink clouds. A tranquil bay spreads before their eyes. 2 of the surveyors get into a small boat and row towards a tiny pine-covered tidal islet, where a weathered gate stands solemnly in the cooling sand. As they draw nearer, they notice a small wooden box hiding among the roots. Yes, if we leave an offering, we lose food to get some inspiration. The good outcome is probably dig the box out. Like, this lets us spend the bad card and take what's probably a bad outcome. So let's see what happens if we smash the box open. Not wanting to disturb the roots of the trees, the surveyors find a large stone and strike the corner of the box. The wood splinters, followed by the sound of shattering clay. A sweet-smelling golden liquid oozes out, soaking into the sand. Just lose a bit of harmony, that's fine. And then we draw. And use whatever yield we gain. Got net harmony off this anyway. That's another large building, isn't it? Yeah, it is. So we could go for the woodblock print studio there. Let's try that. Wait, step forest. Let's just go step and large building. New event, sleeping rough, and then the studying all night. That's the turtle one, tortoise. Yeah, there we go. Woodblock print studio. Need to navigate down to there, which is going to be high radiance. So we'll definitely go public school. Really, really hope we get the radiances we're looking for. I mean, since we're stuck waiting on that, I can't really do anything about it. What do I want to go over here? Dancing windsocks. I could readily grab that with the craft. Ant colony. Cannot readily grab that because find thistle fields. And let's just, go. Yeah, spend you. I don't need those blessings, not on this one. Into the dancing windsocks. And then we shall divine. Ah. Yeah, no, deer could have helped. Deer could have helped. If I had gone for deer before doing the dancing windsocks. Yeah, very good point, Max. Yeah, I wasn't thinking ahead. I was just thinking, oh, we'll get this done since we have it. But no, I could have gotten through the archives. Decent chance we'll grab the radiance we need. Something else? Let's just divine. Continue might get me one of those radiances, so I will keep the 5. Redraw. Ah, bugger. Well, we can have another draw there. Which I don't think there's anything else really on to here, so... Yep. Risk the discard. Oh, and it got rid of the 5. Of course it did. Well, we get the archive event at least, and we still have one more chance at the Woodblock Print Studio. At least we get the event. Diligent student has been sitting outside the archives all night, frantically studying for his apprenticeship exam. It's exhausted, eyes are blurry, words stopped making sense hours ago. Oh wow, just looking at stream quality, my bitrate is currently showing 0. That ain't good. Okay, since it's shooting up again, I think there was maybe a bit of a hitch in the internet. Hopefully, things stabilize out a bit. Anyway, so we can pet the turtle. Yeah, we don't want to continue studying for sheer willpower. Our objective here is to learn not to rush. I mean, taking time to pet the beast seems like a good idea, you know. Turn away from your work for a second. The student reaches out and pats the turtle on the shell. The turtle doesn't seem to notice, or perhaps chooses not to. The man sighs and goes back to staring blankly at the scroll. Gain 10 harmony, pacify 1, stability, connection. I mean, decent enough glyph. Still not the correct option though. It's obviously go to sleep is the one we're looking for now. Yep. Much tragedy. Oh well, just gain some yield off the back of these then. Grab some harmony. And some harmony. End the foray. Manabia Schoolhouse, after its public school. A duty. I see he puts dedicate. Okay. On top, as well as being itself. Honestly, essences we don't really need, by being a pretty good card. Cotton. Puts quiet on top. It will gain some harmony. Now, we're getting rid of the scorch that was added here. I think rather than grabbing any of the others. That is one of my radiances, which is a bit of a shame, but yeah. Take you out, hope we can grab more radiances somewhere else. Harmony and adventure. Harmony and adventure. Let me just double check here. So the woodblock print studio. Sorry, I mean the paper studio. Yeah, that's productivity and food, as well as a bit of beauty as the secondaries on that. Probably not looking to grab one of those at this point. Seashore and Step, just stay on here. Maybe Seashore and Step over here. Yeah. Noisy Flock, Noisy Flock. Yeah, all much the same. Close you. Yeah, and you're the drunk one, right? Let's go for it. Yeah, Driftwood Shore for the event over here. Do I need the connection on this side, or can I just use that to get rid of you? Yeah, I don't think we're really looking at connection that importantly here. Cool. Spend you to deal with that one. Bonded Rocks over here. Yep. Driftwood Shore if I'm willing to use the Expand, or I could use the Continue if I want to keep hold of that. Over on this side, yep, we're taking the Thistlefield. I think, yeah, we're not going for the Ceramics Workshop event. We are going to be struggling a bit to get the adventure. We're just going to have to try and aim for the Shipwreck Shrine here. So you can slot in there or slot in here. If I use you on the Cricket Choir, it's another 5. I'm trying to get the knowledge, but yeah, I think we just run you like that into here, continue that. Sky above the beach is filled with cranes, crossing the sea to their feeding grounds. The massive flock is incredibly loud, their constant calls echoing off the rocks all day. Villagers are rubbing their temples and debating how to reclaim their peace and quiet. Okay, so we're trying to make friends with the animals, so like driving them away, trying to scare them off. It could be a little bit like a counter effect on one of these, but I'm assuming the declare the bird calls to be the voices of spirits is probably less likely to make things go wrong. Okay, yeah, dancing cranes. Show the cranes dedication. Save a crane chick. Learn from the cranes. Instead of fighting the flock, the priests declare the sudden arrival to be an auspicious sign. They call on the locals to appease the spirits by folding intricate paper cranes and leaving them as offerings at the shrine. The real birds remain just as loud, but the villagers find the noise much more tolerable now that it's considered holy. And redraw. Remember, we have the deer, so I could get one of the things out here if I need it. I don't really think I do, though. I mean, if I slot that in, I could then get 10 harmony off the back of it. Ugh. Whatever, let's be very boring and not make use of the companion again. Get in bad habits. Take the blessing. Yes, take the blessing. There we go. Thank you, Bear. That worked out for us. Yeah. Even Crossroads, I mean, not readily making that. Not a lack of connection. No, don't want to split you. Neither of you are useful. All good. Yorigihama, Driftwood Beach, after its Driftwood Shoal. I plant heaven. I think we're probably just looking at discard here. Let's see, so we do have a lot of connection. Like, connection is generally pretty useful. Get rid of one of our basic stability cards maybe, or one of our spirit. We have a lot of options for spirit. Let's drop divination. Okay. Productivity and safety. And productivity is one of the ones we can get out here in the scrubland. Yeah, wasteland for safety too. The Raiju. Yep. Need to... Yeah, glyph is cast. But we can make use of those scorches potentially. Endless Ruin, Pilgrim by Moonlight, new companion event too, which is nice to see. Start this foray. Okay, yeah, so Silkweaver's Hut. Not on the way to the studio. A tiny bit disappointing. We will hopefully chances to get the Paper Studio later. Let's go for the Silkweaver's Hut event first of all. Yep. So if I use you, you'll grab me one of those at random. I could even try and head down to the Stormwatch Citadel. Just gonna really push through this. Rather than go for the Ruined Outpost event. I mean, if I go here, I don't think I want the Jade Shard. In which case we're going for this, which will cost me more productivity. Ew. Yeah, let's aim straight down to the Stormwatch Citadel if I can. Grab you there. And slot you in there. I don't really think I want to cast here, since I'm not going to be in a good position to get rid of the thing you're giving me. So let's just redraw. Oh, good. High level continue. That should, yeah, get me through this. You go Silkweaver's Hut for the event. Yeah. Oh, Pilgrim by Moonlight. An apprentice working late into the night is greeted by an odd sight. A tanuki approaches the door, walking on its hind legs, with a scarf tied around its head. The animal looks eerily human-like in the moonlight, a diminutive pilgrim who's lost its way. The apprentice wonders if it's a sign from the Enlightened One. Tanuki and Full Moon, 1900-1920. Things carried by the Tanuki. It's an octopus, I do believe. Look at this little squiggly thing in here. Cute picture regardless. Okay, so our objective here is to help it with its disguise. As much as I want to adopt the Tanuki, that's probably not... Unless we pretend it's our child. I don't think that's kind of the implication here for helping it with its disguise. So it's going to be examine the scarf or pretend it's not there. Let's examine the scarf. Maybe we'll offer to improve it somehow. Yes. Perfect. Gathering his courage, the apprentice steps closer and reaches for the cloth. The animal freezes, allowing him to carefully untie the knot. It turns out the animal managed to get its head stuck in one of the silk cloths hung out to dry. Freed from its makeshift headwear, the animal chirps in relief and bounds away. Ever since, the weavers often hear it cheerfully rummaging around on the edge of the settlement at night. It's happy to be freed. And that gets us the Tanuki. This schemer is always rummaging around. Gain 10 points for a yield of your choice. Amount increases by 5 every phase. Costs craft and spirit up to 5 times per stage, plus 1 of anything each use. Interesting. It gets me any yield I want. So we will be able to fill this out with any real combination of stuff. We're not getting any more productivity off the back of this. So with that in mind, I guess we're using you here. Yep, doesn't really matter. I am not going to risk the discard getting rid of the 5 since we're relying on that. So instead we just use you. Yeah, add things to the deck. It's fine. And then continue. Perfect. And foray. Masahiro Oda, pure white field, after its salt flats. I'm going to use a reroll here. I do want some better cards. Snow? Ugh. Really not getting any of the high rarity stuff I would have liked. I mean, come on. Plus 39% rarity. Not going to throw me a bone though. Let's just grab Snow, get another Radiance in. And Convergence. Okay, we do not have a food producing settlement. Otherwise, like, these will feed into each other nicely. Then those are covered, but food is our current shortfall. Small buildings down there. And I don't want to risk eating up the, like, town square location, though. Like, if I just stick the capital right here, I should still have that town square available. Yep. Place the shard capital up here. Okay. And now, so we want to connect up one of these places, first of all. Yep, get you in. And then, yeah, I think we're just going straight to try and grab a bunch of connection cards. So, slot you in there. Slot you in there. Slot you in there. That is one connection. And then that connection can connect up this location. Couple of settlements done. Okay, shortest on change. So I want to probably use you as change. And then life. So you go in there, redraw. Okay, couple more connection here. Just get some more stuff tackled here. I could do this settlement with 2 life potentially. You could be 2 stability. Let's get the stability required settlements hooked up first. Yep, and now use you there. Yep, and that lets me grab one of these. We don't have knowledge currently in the capital, so we can get you hooked up. Yep, and then this one, we can meet the shortage, just like this. Let's not bother with the split. And then, you know what? I do meet the requirements for this, and don't know if I'm going to get a manufacturing settlement in the next lot, so yep, slot you in there. Perfect. And what relic do we want? You know, I am not getting a lot of interesting glyph rewards, so let's grab Threadbound Bundle. So we get a little bit more option there. Now here, I think we're probably going to get rid of stone, salvage that, and Maybe even another stability basic. Get rid of rest as well. Maybe earth. Can't remember how many of these second strokes I have. Sure, let's also salvage earth. And continue. Okay, knowledge, harmony, beauty. Knowledge, harmony, beauty. Definitely sounds a bit like a good scrubland location to me. A triple scrubland. I could go for a small building, town square. Small building is not really going to tackle the stuff we want. Can I just get the town square and not the small building? Something like that, maybe. Yeah, scrubland, town square. No hauntings. Yep, let's see how this goes. Now, yeah, we want notice boards. So that needs to be changed in there if I can. Means, yeah, none of the interesting events, but that's fine, whatever. Here's the Rabbit Warren event. Paper Studio over here then. Okay, slot you in there. And then you in there. Yeah, so that'll be all the knowledge. This will be some harmony, a little bit more harmony if I make it down to the marketplace. We're looking at harmony and hopefully beauty over here. Incense Workshop. Not going to grab me the event, but I could also just get harmony off the back of one of these. I could just grab the blessing too. In which case we're just looking at beauty, which I mean, we're still not getting off the Rabbit Warren. No, beauty is going to be handled here. And yeah, beauty is going to be handled here, so that will actually be all the harmony I need, even without the blessing. Excellent. Let's get the notice board locked in. And then, yep, so we have True Connection, have Spirit, we have Radiance, and let's see. We don't have the Lice, we're not getting past here to Monastery of the Wilds. Which means I think we are going to go slot you in there. Let us slot... Marketplace is very low priority for us, isn't it? So I could even maybe just grab a natural advance off the back of one of these rather than grab the marketplace immediately. Yep. Grab the Bramble Hollow. There's a small chance that goes into the Incense Workshop, which I don't really want. So yeah, instead you just go in there towards the Paper Studio. Okay, we can get the Paper Studio using you. Perfect. You can... I could gain a lot of harmony off the back of this. Let's just spend stuff normally. Perfect. Grumpy Rabbits. This is one of the best pieces of art in the game. I love it so much. Look at these little things. Okay, Rabbit Glyph, not the best. I also don't want to lose a bunch of productivity. I guess we're just continuing the project. We're ignoring the grumpy rabbit staring ominously at us. The project continues as planned. Guilt. Yeah, bad card. And the settlement gains much needed storage space. Still, the architect cannot shake the memory of the rabbit's glaring eyes. Good beastie. Now, Monastery of the Wild will get me some more knowledge. Small chance I'm drawn to connection to get the marketplace. But, yeah, let's just slot you in there. You in there. I mean, I can conjure you into ground. And then spread nothing in order to make sure we discard this. Oh, Phil. There we go. Got the marketplace anyway. Stalls grown under baskets of fruit, crates of hammers, and the most fashionable kimonos. Hanazuka Leaping Mound after its rabbit warren. I think we are just going for the remove glyph on guilt here. Okay, harmony and adventure. Harmony and adventure. Yeah, paper studio, another notice board, another woodblock print studio 2. That's a good adventure location. Wasteland could get me a bit of adventure down here. Get some harmony off the back of the cliff. Another scrubland 2. Under the Same Moon, that's a new green event too. Look around. A couple of green events over here. Yeah, I think let's look in this direction. 2 new ones as well. Let's go right up on the cliff explicitly since we're going to be eating up that space. Kodama in the forest. We can probably deal with that. Cool. Yep. Yeah, so discard a random glyph if I get yield out of this location. And bird nesting cliff is the location one of these events, and I think we're just going to grab great for that, because that's the direction we want to go over here. The tiger. A local poet likes to sit at the edge of the cliff to find inspiration in the night sky. Tonight, the view is particularly breathtaking, with red maple leaves dancing on the wind. However, the evening is interrupted when a tiger pads out onto the cliff's edge, playing with the leaves and staring at the moon. Match the tiger's courage. So fleeing definitely down. Jumping off the cliff seems less courageous, more rather foolish. Yeah, and also kind of fleeing from the tiger. Recite a booming verse to the beast's majesty. That might scare it off or either make it run or attack us. Let us just remain on the cliff. The poet swallows hard, but remains still, unwilling to show the tiger a hint of fear. For an hour, human and beast sit side by side, admiring the moon. The experience provides the poet with enough inspiration for a long lifetime. We've shown the tiger courage. Excellent. Now, climbing trial would get me some of the adventure. Though if I want adventure, we can just head down through here, maybe? No life, but we should hopefully get life. And then if I go Wildlife Sanctuary for the event over here, that's another bundle of harmony. I mean, that's 10, get us up to 20. We have a lot of other harmony stuff here. You know what? Let's just use you. Pacify 1. And gave me some more harmony. Cool. We are pretty good. And the shortage of life is a bit annoying here. I just want to go the climbing trial. Yeah, climbing trial just here. You in there. Rather than use expand, grab you. Should have continued maybe to get that, but... So if I use the natural advance, you will get the murky trail now at this point, which is also good, or I can use that to get rid of the Kodama. Let's just get the murky trail. Oh, I did not realize that was there. Oh yeah, hidden shrine. Give me some harmony. Oh well. We just won't get the other event then. That's fine enough. Take the blessing for more adventure. I mean, hang on to what little bit of safety I still already have. Grab you there. Murky Trail. Into a bit of extra knowledge since we're trying to grab that. Now this will be 15 knowledge or 10 knowledge off the back of this, as well as filling one of these. Yep, let's just do that. We can continue to get through both of those. Yeah, don't bother draw discarding or doing anything here. Just continue. Alchemist Retreat. Jolly good. Hotarusawa Firefly Marsh, after its swamp. Okay, finally some good cards. We do have, yep, no bad cards left. We got rid of those. So, lecture. Gain a bunch of knowledge. That is what we're looking for, along with very good essences on it. Or obey for a blessing and productivity, the cost of some inspiration. Yeah, let's take lecture. And high beauty yield. Make use of the lake for all this. There is an event on the lake, probably. Small hunt is, yeah, this is a lotus pond on the lake for the cat. Some beauty there. If we go down to the boat festival, that's an expensive one. And then a new event, nothing goes to waste. Rather than grabbing the wasteland, yeah, grab some of the steppe maybe. Yep. Like this. Lake, scrubland, steppe. Okay, both events down here on the Lotus Silk Farm and the Lotus Pond. That'll be 25. Can I pull another 25 out of this? I can pull another 20 out of here. Pull a bunch if I go down to the Avian Crossroads. Paper Studio, I am trying to work towards and would also be good. Yeah, I think we're fine to aim for both of these events. And we do have the continue as well. So if I want to get to expensive stuff, Paper Studio is probably the most expensive one here. That'll take both life and something else, which would stop me from moving down in this direction. Yeah, not the best use for the continue here. A lot of one-cost ones. All lined up in a row. Okay, let's get the event off the Lotus Pond. The cat. Ever since the shattering cats of the shards have had to adapt to their new environment. Settlers notice one such cat standing motionless by the water's edge, waiting for just the right time to pounce on a toad. Now, as much as I'm a friend of toads, this was not the correct option. Let's learn patience or leave the animals alone, probably. Let's try learning patience from the cat. A monk among the settlers launches into a sermon illustrating the value of patience, not foolish, on the path to enlightenment. Before we can get a few words out, Cat makes a half-hearted swipe at the toad, misses entirely, and begins grooming its paw with intense focus. It projects an air of absolute certainty that it meant to do exactly that. Yes, we can get a connection in here to continue along at least, so if I keep Cat to the side to get the Lotus Silk Farm. Then other ones we're looking here is, yeah, Mulberry Patch, in order to start working towards this other paper studio. And then Thistlefield, or I go Painted Pillars. Yeah, I can't get Lonely Cans as well, not my current set of stuff. Yeah, let's just conjure here. Grab you like so. Slot you in there. Use the expand. And discard continue. The Lotus Plantation has become home to a large number of frogs. Every other leaf seems to harbour a tiny amphibian. One of the artisans notices a frog molting. Rather than discarding an empty husk, the frog pulls the skin off its limbs and stuffs it right back into its mouth. Okay, learn from the frog. Study the behaviour. Seems most learning one here. Definitely not look away, rid the pond. So, yep, study the behaviour. The artisan fixes her eyes on the frog, unwilling to let irrational disgust rule her behaviour. As she sees the creature avoiding waste to such an extent, she contemplates her work. Weave a single thread of lotus silk, they break hundreds of stems, discarding a huge amount of plant matter. She resolves to find a use for the byproducts of her craft. And then appreciate the cycle of life is the next one, frog-wise. Okay. So, I want to get down to the paper studio as we can, which means here we're going to need the craft off split, one of the radiances, and a stability. which means, yep, we can just use, plenty of spare 1 life essences. So slot you in there. You in there. Don't think we use the split function. Yeah, don't need the blessings off that. Paper Studio. Good, that's my second Paper Studio lockdown. And then I could just use the fill to see what you grab out of this. Yep. Wind chimes. Good enough. You grab that, and let's grab a whole lot of knowledge. And end foray. Kookaburra, Mulberry Field, after its mulberry patch. Drama, or discard something instead. We definitely want to get rid of Foolish, so discard that out. Another regional survey. Let us... Ooh, bunch of new possible encounters down here. I don't think I'm that desperate to kind of see the canyon and desert down here. So let's see if we can find some of these new encounters. I don't want to spend the knowledge, in the rarity tier would be the most useful one here. Start the survey. Alright, the tigers. So watch their behavior to gain some safety. And you. Fork in the road. Choose a mineral glyph, choose an animal glyph. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, animal glyph. Let's see what we can take. Manure, bird, bee, nest. Bee has the most things on it. We don't have any change or draft, which are the two we are really low on. Nest, target security, adds bird to the top. Now bee adds honey to the top. Let's just take honey for the most essences. Take bee. Hapless carter. Yeah, cartwheel. We do have some continue functionality. As opposed to any of the other events here, that will be a loss of inspiration. The continue is really just for this 5. There'll be a tiny amount of actual yield here. I meet the requirements. Let's just take it. I'm not going to be able to really make use of this continue, am I? Yeah. We'll just discard that, probably. Yeah, cartwheel, take that. Lose some inspiration. Missing rations. Yep, and we're just going to have to redraw and discard that. So, gain some harmony or choose a food glyph. Let us gain some harmony. The Monk of Emptiness. Okay, if I can get the nothing glyph, that would be excellent. Not going to be able to do that, though. Invite him along. Present an offering for the flute. Don't really want the flute. I guess we're just ignoring the strange man. And bitter water. Okay, boil to lose productivity. I could split in order to get a fresh glyph. Spend even more, spend 4 inspiration to get fresh. Is that worth it? Fresh is a good card. Yeah. Alas, alas. Cannot plug you in there, but let's just go like that, like that, like that. Yep. Grab you. This gets me 2 back, so it's only net -2 anyway. And survey. We didn't see any of those new events, which is quite tragic. Okay, knowledge and food. This seems like a good time to aim for the other notice board locations. We just slap down here, small buildings, good for food. Yep. What's this haunting again? Okay, when a glyph is drawn, add a fear glyph to your hand. Drink 1 curse. We can probably survive off that. We're not doing much drawing, so... Yep. Grab the notice board. Using... Yeah. Let's just guarantee we got you. Logged. Saved. Excellent. Another requirement met. Now we want to use life essences here to progress down past the granary. Could spread, I'll put that on top. I mean, that'll just give me another lecture, which I can use, and I will want honey. That'll be a good card, I think, to have on top of the deck, just to gain some more food. So let's use bee there. I mean, I can use one of these to get the rest of the knowledge. The other one can go towards getting this first step up here done. Another granary. Steam bun shop is less food than going down the other direction. Let's use a random fill, see what we grab. Okay, one of the locations in there. If I grab one of the steam bun shops, that's still an acceptable amount on the other side if we make it down to the fermentation lodge. So let us do so. And gain the rest of our knowledge. Redraw. Yeah, bunch of fears. That's completely fine. Curse and Shrink is not going to do anything to us on our last hand. That make the rest of the hand a little bit difficult to look at. We do have the one change. Like, nothing else here is really going to do anything too exciting. I could grab a lot off the back of this for the Satisfy. If I do that, yeah, I'll still have enough to make it down to the Fermentation Lodge. Yep, so let's just use you. Cool. Grab you there. Might as well use one of you for that. And then you go there. Perfect. No real point pacifying you at this point, so we'll just use the yields out of these. And that's the second notice board done. Yeah, Shrink and Curse, Shrink and Curse. And now, we're tiny bit of knowledge left. 5 is fine, that's not an obstacle at all. We just have this last, the Woodblock Print Studio. That's the tricky one. And I think we only have the one possibility to aim for to get that. I can grab 6. I think I'm fine without that. Lookout, same. We're removing something. One of these basic life essences. Drop join. The continue itself is sometimes useful though. So, yeah, we'll drop flower. Okay, knowledge. Good. Good, good, good. Knowledge, harmony, adventure, productivity. Yeah, we do only have the one large building left. If I go for this, I need to make it. It's kind of, if I want to go small building or scrubland, I think I probably want to go scrubland for the yields we're looking for here. Settlement, yeah, just about here. New event, the Missing Crows. Sleeping Rough. Future of Education. What the Fire Leaves. Yeah, these are all new events, so not really too much to go off here. Okay, you're going to make me lose safety when a goal yield is gained. We are quite low on safety. This might actually drop us into the negative. But let's go here. Yeah. And that's our aim. Woodblock Print Studio. We must satisfy that. We do have 2 radiances. I think we are, yeah, just immediately locking those in to go down this route. Means other one we probably want to use here. I mean, you're just a... I could get the Blessing of Adventure. I wanted to get Watch Post, maybe. I mean, just the Satisfy and the Harmony is probably more useful than the Blessing of Adventure to actually make certain I survive. Yeah, so you lock down public school. You know what? Yeah, automatic pacify you. I can't be bothered dealing with all your nonsense. Yeah, one of you goes into the archive. The other one goes into the woodblock print studio. Yep. And then we just use you. Gain a bunch of yield. Okay, that tackles all the harmony. That's where you went. And then the continue here will hit the woodblock print studio for me. Perfect. Yep, we can get the little cartwheel, contributing a tiny bit towards productivity. Yep, woodblock print studio development should be done right after this. I'm going to survive now. We've made sure of that at least. So, if I natural advance you, you're going to grab the mulching shed over here. There's an event up there I might like to see. Could store this. Do I want to store that? I think I might actually want to store this, and we'll aim for the event up there. A little bit of adventure out of this. Yeah. Redraw hand. Okay. So we got the continue. Not great. Yeah, these are all like one value things. That's stability into change, stability into connection. We can do this at least. Grab you there. Although, yeah, the fill will get the connection down here, so we use you for change. What the fire leaves. The gatherers worked hard, perhaps too hard. Piles of firewood line the coppice edge, and bundles of kindling have replaced chairs and tables in the camp. There's more wood than the settlers can store in the sheds, and more than the kitchens can use in a year, or rot if left in the open. Some suggest burning it now, others want to put it to better use. Oh, that's an interesting story. It reminds me what happened last night. I had a very fun evening. Talking about fires and firewood, I had a wee bit of a chimney fire yesterday. That was eventful. A bunch of soot and ash stuck up the chimney, kind of set fire, almost slagged the chimney. It was glowing quite bright yellow by the end there. Did not melt. The house is still not on fire, which is excellent. Really going to examine the chimney this morning. That's going to take a lot of careful use to make certain it's safe to use in the future. Meantime though, so spirit glyphs, char it into ritual sticks. That sounds like it might be a relic thing. Might just give me harmony or something though. Burn it in a great communal bonfire. Tend a long, low flame. Uncertain what that would yield, use it to lay a wooden path to the coppice. Doesn't sound adventurous, that last one. Let us tend a long, low flame. The fire is banked in a clay ring and fed just enough. It smoulders for days. No blaze, just embers and smoke. It becomes a place to warm hands and share stories. Some say it will keep burning long after the wood is gone. Glowing ember uncommon. Whenever a spirit has in Slaughter's field, draw a glyph. That is nice. Yeah, tiny ember from a sacred fire. It never quite dies down. That is nice. And then just grab, yep, you there. The fill here. I mean, I don't know if fill can like hit the animal companion slots or not. I've never actually seen it do that. Like, if it does it here, that's fine, because we'll just go into the same locations. Other cars, though, that would be less than ideal. Yep. And just end the foray here. Suri Shiza, printer's seat from his woodblock print studio. Oh wow, look at you! Festival, legendary, life, stability, connection, spirit. Bunch of beauty and harmony on your invocation. Yep, we're definitely taking you. Oh, even more knowledge. I just grabbed the big knowledge buildings though. Where else do I want to go? What animal events can I see? A guarded treasure down there. That's the snake one. Grim feast, sibling rivalry. They're new. And let's think, can I get stuff down here trying for the snake? Wasteland for knowledge. Security. Yeah, I think so. That's not too bad. Wasteland, scrubland. Yeah, I don't think I can grab the cliff or still getting the guarded treasure. Let's see, what are the hauntings here? Yep, so you want to... Yeah, so you're going to lock down one of the locations. Cursing, whenever development is activated on this site, add blinds. We'll want to get our safety tackled immediately if we can. Yep, we'll aim for this place. Yeah, if I can get the safety done, I can ignore you. And you're just going to lock down the scrubland for the moment. Yeah, Ruined Outpost has the snake one on it. We do actually meet the requirements for the other options here. Yeah, and leave the treasure to its guardian is the correct option here for the snake. Let the snake keep its hoard is the hint. Yep, so that should be another animal companion. And that's also the safety we're looking for. Yep, so I'm going to need both my stabilities and you to get this done. Yeah, add curses to my hand. Could use the continue, actually. I want to grab something else. Like, I could slot you in there and then get rid of you. Sure. Unfortunately, yeah, I'm definitely going to discard this when I activate this to get both of you. Don't think I have another ready use for you. You'll add seed to the top of the deck. I can probably make use of that, so let's use you. Natural advance, if I slot you in, you're going to hit either the Ruined Outpost or the Rock Garden. Monitor the Wilds here would get me some knowledge and the harmony I'm looking for, which means I probably want to go Salt Flats over on here. So yeah, let's not use Natural Advance. Perfect. And then the Cartwheel even got us last that bit of safety. While exploring the dusty halls of a ruined outpost, the settlers find a room filled with remarkably preserved furniture, decorated with gold and jeweled inlays. Just as they're about to collect all this treasure, a massive snake slithers out from behind a painted screen. Yeah, last time I got this, I met none of the requirements because it was like pretty much, I think, my first settlement on the run. But this time, we can. Leave the treasure to its guardian. Perfect. The settlers bow respectfully and back away, deciding that some treasures are not meant to be claimed. They adopt the patient, watchful snake as a symbol of keeping things hidden until the time is right. A secretive friend keeps gifts hidden until the moment is right. Store a glyph, get it back the next time you redraw. Does not persist between stages. That is quite nice. Yeah, because often, like, I'm curious, like, storing cards, if they have the store effect, that goes on top of your deck. If I store something with the snake, does it go, like, onto the snake and then be drawn as an additional card, or does it go onto the deck? Unclear, I don't think... Yeah, stage, animal companion glyph. No extra elaboration in the details section. Either way would be pretty useful. Like, if it goes on top of the deck, the ability to add store to any card would be quite useful. But if it goes onto the snake, that would make it possibly, I think, my go-to one from this point. Okay, so what are we looking at here? Bramble Hollow into the Rabbit Warren. Monitor the Wilds will get me harmony and some knowledge. Salt Flats onto these two. Well, one of these will get me some more knowledge too. Yeah, I mean, definitely can't easily expand here, so you get Salt Flats in this event. Salt Sisters. Every morning, Salters head to the flats to fill their buckets with pale crystals, bring back the treasure to the town. Yep, these two people currently arguing a bit. Take the marriage card. Just take some extra harmony. Right, if I take the harmony, I can maybe rethink what I'm doing on this side. Let's consult the village elder. Yeah, take the harmony. Okay, so like Paper Grove into the Paper Studio is a lot more tempting over here suddenly. Looking at life, craft, we do not readily have. I could natural advance, we have plenty of connection. We have a radiance and a storage. Like radiance we want to save. And looking at the other two to provide the life. Yeah. Mulberry Patch. Yep, B over here. Paper Mulberry Grove. Yep, and then you go just there. You go just there. And we just see what you slot in. Hopefully, I could just guarantee for the 10. Let's slot you in, aim for the 25. Nah, went for the 10 instead. Oh well. End foray. Shiotsu, Salt Haven, Ashra's Salt Flats. Cleanse, honey, charcoal? I'm really short on craft. Not that's getting too large, but let's add that in anyway. Unerupt the convergence. We'll see if we can survive this at least. Let's start. Okay, we got some connections straight away. That is nice to see. So I think, yes, everything Capel currently provides, so let's just... Oh, did not mean to do that. Misclick. Oh well. More cards, I guess. That was probably the correct use for that card anyway in this situation. Not the end of the world. Connect you up here. And then let's just connect some of the other ones near the settlement, the capital. Connect you in. Connect you in. Oh. And we have 4 settlements still unconnected. We can use a U and a U and U like so. Get another connection. Yep, we'll connect you up. Road goes over to here. Yep. Now, yeah, I don't think I have a use just for the craft section. Instead, you just slot in there. Yep. Lose a little bit more inspiration. Yeah, and they get stored on top, so we're going to lose a bit more even. Yeah, so we can get... Like, we have the 2 radiances. We can meet the requirement on this one. We definitely need to connect you up. Like, if I go stability and change, that's another 1 connection. Means, unfortunately, I do think we are going to game over at this point, because we're not going to be able to get all of this, which is going to cost me 5, and that's going to be another 4. Is there a way I can use the healing from this? I mean, that'll get me another 2. There's a tiny chance, I think, if I use the fill, that it goes into one of these. And then I can use this on the other one, get the connection. And if I've used this, I should end up with slightly... Yeah. Enough inspiration. I want to use the fill before placing this, since there's a high chance it goes into one of the 2. Nah, incorrect location. Oh well. Oh well, oh well. Let's just connect up a place. Yep. And that's the end of the convergence. we did at least make the shard culture, and we managed to get some more animal companions. Still no sign of the carp. Still no sign of it. We did have a lake and a river, and I didn't see a new event on either of those. Cliffs too, and I didn't see anything on the cliff waterfall, which is the other place I thought it might be. Kami no Kuni, the paper distributors. Oh, jolly good. We did discover some new stuff. This is a nice relic. Now, I think we're probably keeping Festival. You know, I'm thinking about the shard cultures we've left. I think I'm actually going to keep Lecture for reasons that should hopefully soon become apparent. We head back over here. Land Bottle Lightning turns side of a new one, but what I'm looking at is this, the Fractured States. A bunch of safety, low harmony. Like, Lecture spends some harmony when you use it, the Legendary would give us harmony. Like, actually getting this low of particular yield is surprisingly difficult to do. Your yields tend to spike up pretty fast unless you're really paying attention. But I think this is what we're going to go to next. At least 150 safety, no more than 50 harmony, at least 6 elements not connected to the shard capital, and at least 2 watch post developments and small buildings. If we play this nicely, 6 elements, that's the first convergence, so we should be able to get this done right after the first convergence. If I need to connect some stuff to survive, then I can just build a couple more settlements, and then, while they're not connected, we dip out there. Yeah, but the maximum limit here on harmony means we want to get this done as quickly as possible. First, though, we have some history. First part, the Land of Bottled Lightning. From the early days, the ever-present storms of Raiko no Kuni have birthed a culture of storm chasing. The people in these storm chaser camps, with their gravity-defying hair and rubber sandals, were considered lunatics at first. Until Arashi Ryotaro built a kite that guided lightning out of the skies to wherever one wished. This invention was quickly adopted as a tool to start fires and shatter rocks on command. And third part of the Turning Society. Zenrito's approach to safety has led to a considerable lack of privacy among the townspeople. In Shiratsu no, locks are considered rude, and fences rarely reach above one's knee. The people reason that to maintain harmony, everyone should be fully aware of their neighbours' lives. Burglary is very rare, mostly because robbing a house where you've already been invited for tea is socially awkward. Now we can meditate to gain a new skill with 262 insight to spend. See, yeah, survey preparation, I hardly ever use survey preparation, so not the most useful. Longer surveys, maybe more chances to get stuff. Scouting, otherwise, more glyph reward rerolls. And then the rarity tier increase down there, pretty good. Another replan. More inspiration stuff. So just more inspiration would be the worst. I would still leave him with 100 to spend too if I grab that. Yeah, I can grab more max inspiration. And, I mean, since I have the 100, let's grab this guaranteed event. Unless you choose an event which is guaranteed to happen if its requirements are met. Now, I remember getting that towards the end of the demo. I don't know how useful it would be here. I just want to think. If I check harmony here. Okay, so big would let me lose harmony. If I make that one my basic one, so that would be nice. Asset. Yeah, I'm probably looking at rare stuff here. City would also let me lose harmony. Clamor lets me curse harmony. Yeah, I'm just thinking about ways to decrease harmony. Yeah, decrease harmony more than increase the amount of security, I think. Yeah, I can inscribe both of these. I do think, yep, we'll grab Clamor. Clamor is just very good. We'll grab City too. Excellent. Now, change out you for clamor. Change out you for city. Yep, that's also another lose. Head down here. Start with rather than the expand. Yeah, I don't have big at the moment. Do I want to see where is... Yep, big. We will inscribe that as well, so we can add that to the deck. Which one do I want to get rid of? I mean, the ability to swap between these two essences, I think, makes down a really strong basic glyph. So I don't think we'll get rid of that. It's probably either wind or up. Expand can be nice. The ability to draw can also be nice. Let's get rid of wind for the moment. Place you with big. And now we have some new companions. So the deer. Yeah. The deer has sometimes been pretty useful. The sea brim, random 4A goal, just lets you dump a bunch of cards into a location to kind of get a tiny amount towards the goal yield. Useful as a last resort, but only really in that situation. Tanuki lets you choose the yield, but that seems pretty expensive for what you get out of it. It's like as expensive as the brim, but even more specific. Which doesn't make me too encouraged to use it. I am curious to see how the snake works. Let's take the snake companion. And we can choose to guarantee an event. Only one I've already seen, though. I don't think I'm that fussy, honestly, about this. Just give me whatever events you choose to, friend. And, yep. I have pinned the appropriate thing. Yes, I have. Let us embark. We do have a split invocation in, so first time you use the split invocation, add a bind glyph to your hand. I could make use of repaired sandal. Mirror ink. Ooh. First time you slot a glyph of an invocation, its invocations are also cards. Repaired sandal and mirror ink are both very tempting here. Mirror ink's real strong. I've taken that as a starting relic before. Let's take the repaired sandal. This is one that's a bit more uncommon for me to actually be able to reliably make use of. We are immediately starting off with a harmony requirement because of course we are. Missing crows, that's a new event. Let's see if we can see what it's about at least. Okay, that's the monster. Yeah, Monster of the Wilds event. That is just too much harmony. We'll take the one over here, Bramble Hollow, into the Firewood Coppice. You know, rather than use Earth, I'm going to conjure down in and use you like that. Oh, meet the requirement. And then we can... Okay, so this is going to give me craft and connection if I use the split here. We go thatching yard, maybe? I mean, let's just do it. I mean, the curse is fine, so... Yeah, and this event again. Sparks and embers. And burning down chimneys. Huzzah. Glowing embers really good. I'm curious to see what these other things here are, though. To char it carefully into ritual sticks, use it to lay a wooden path into the coppice. Let's use it to lay a wooden path. Logs are split and laid with care. By morning, there's a dry, clear path from the settlement to the grove. It may be mundane, but it gets people where they need to go. Yep, a little bit of productivity. And then if we go, yep, down here in the mulching shed, we can use that there, thatching yard. Huzzah. Yeah, and the reason I wanted to keep that one because we were working towards the safety goal, which that'll let me do. Now, keep a secret. Store a glyph, get it back the next time you redraw. I'm curious to see how that works, so I'm just going to store happiness. Yeah, a little snake kiss there. That's nice. It's not showing up on the draw stack. When I redraw my hand, yeah, we get a full hand and the kept card. Okay, that's nice. That's how I hope that would work, and that's how it is working. Yep, kind of. Yeah, I could use that just to drop down the amount of harmony we have by a net 2. Oh no, that leaves us slightly out. Oh, because we're cursed, of course. Well, we want to keep the harmony low. We can afford to lose 1 inspiration here. And 4A. Shibahara, Brushwood Field. Okay, conflict, forbid. Alright, loss of safety. We are aiming to take safety, so that's not the most inspiring thing I've ever seen. Let's actually just use one of our rerolls. Go 4, conjure random, gain 6. Well, let's be very greedy. Yeah, little buggers. Discard 1 and inspire 4. Or take the 3. Let's just take release. Okay, adventure and beauty. Wasteland and scrubland. Yeah, no animal events here. River up here. Another chance for the carp, maybe. Yeah, Rock Garden's Ruined Outpost has an event on it. A roof tile would be good for safety too. And just cost a bunch of productivity, which we can afford. Though we wouldn't actually be able to take that, would we? No, we lack the craft glyphs. That event is not actually particularly useful for us. The salt flats down towards the Endless Ruins, if I can. And we try to tackle the beauty down here. Silkweaver's Heart. You gain silk, lose harmony, and for Obey. Obey is not the best card. Yeah, let us... Yeah, just take the curse here. Slot you in there on the salt flat. Yeah, go towards this if I can. Slot you there. Slot you there. Iron Wreck. Aim for the Endless Ruin event. Yeah, I can't get the landmark here. I can see what this last option is, which will probably just be worth it on its own, I do think. Yeah, and then so beauty over here. I mean, whatever. We are eating up some of our craft, though. I do need to keep that in mind. I do. So if we go here, probably want to actually continue this, just so I make certain I have a craft available for one on the other side of this. And then you live there. I mean, this will actually get us the beauty if I want to go for something else. Let's go the mulching shed for the moment. And then just in case, we'll actually use you to make the beauty. Yeah, and we continue you to get the Endless Ruin. The entrance yawns dark below the Iron Giant. Yep. So, what we do, rather than delving deeper, let us just collect fragments from the upper chambers. The settlers collect chipped fragments of ancient tools and weapons, marked with illegible markings, and pottery embedded in the cavern walls. None of them are useful by themselves, but one day they may fit into a larger puzzle. Draw 1, store 2, fragment. Should have figured that's what the collect fragment option would get me. And that's the other craft I need for that, I guess. Let's spend some more harmony. And might as well keep your secret. Okay, so I guess we're just using Phil to tackle you. Right, that would have been a 50-50 chance to like... Yeah, a card like this wouldn't even make sense off the fill. Would it store the thing that fills it? I feel like that might break things once you get past fill 1. so I don't think animal companions can be hit by those effects, which is nice to know. And yeah, I don't want to go negative harmony, I don't think. Just try and save that what inspiration I can. We'll just use release here. And the foray. Isomabara, indigo dye field, after its indigo shrub patch. Yep, still not getting any particularly interesting stuff. I guess we're just going to discard our least useful cards straight off the bat in the hopes of getting more stuff later. Yeah, let's drop stone. Okay, safety and harmony. But of course... we do have the Fox event here. I'm just looking at like safety scores. We should be able to make this. The back of these, so... yeah, river, scrubland... yeah, into the thatching yard again? Sure. Yep, river, scrubland. Build down there. Take the Fox event. Because that'll be the harmony we need. Yep. Stick you... yeah. Let's just get the curse and split here. Since 5, half of 10 is 5. We can take the curse easily enough. Yep, and then you go in there. You go in there. Crane nesting ground. That's the harmony and the Fox event. Now, I'm still certain this has to be the wrong outcome, so we will pretend to look away. The villagers turn around and start slowly walking away. There we go. Okay, spook a fox, investigate a fox acting strangely, learn how foxes act around settlements. The fox visibly relaxes, gives the river one last look, then follows the people for a while, before disappearing into the night. There we go. Finally got that event done. Yep, and then we'll just want to get rid of you, to open this thing up, and we'll lock you in there, and just hope we pull some appropriate stuff out of this. I can divine at least. You know, I don't think any of the rest of you really have a use for me. I don't particularly want to put that on top, so... okay, yep, that is both the things we need. Keep both of them. And then just... I mean, I can keep the food yield if I store that, can't I? Yeah, I am liking the snake. The snake is fun. Cannot afford to lose the bit of harmony here, tragically. You know what? Let's actually slot you in there like that, and then continue. Perfect. That lets me gain the yield off these cards. And the foray. Surukawa, Crane River, after its crane nesting grounds. There we go, good card. T. I will happily take T. Regional survey. All sorts of places we could go. Look at that, only 14 possible encounters down here, 33 down there, 32 up here with 3 new ones if I head into this corner. I think I want to kind of... yeah, this would kind of be a bit of a waste of an exploration, getting that tiny corner. I guess let's just go down in this direction. Yep, start the survey. Bitter water. I mean, getting the fresh glyph, almost certainly the correct way to go here. Draw 1, store 2 fragment. And craft is very often useful in these situations, but we'll just store you for the moment. Grab fresh. I mean, not store you, we'll just use you in the thing even. Mineral or animal. Mineral or animal. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. You know what I think I'm going to do? I think I'm going to use you to help get my safety up. Oh no, and you won't give me anything that's on yourself. So you won't start giving me stability. That's disappointing. In which case, I guess we're going animal here. Select a glyph. Carp is new. We are looking for a carp. We're looking for like an event carp rather than the card carp I do fancy. Bless Harmony, not exactly what we're looking for, but just as a rare card with 3 essences on it, I'll take you. Monk of Emptiness. Yep, we do want to ask about his order. Get the Nothing Glyph. Tigers, we keep seeing the same couple of events, don't we? Like, theoretically, there should be a bunch of events we haven't seen a lot. Like with 33 possible, it's just getting the same handful again and again and again. At least that's what it feels like. Yeah, we want to gain safety, definitely here. Thieving Wind. Remove a chosen glyph. Probably what we want to do here. I mean, let's lose the Harmony and adapt to. Yeah, and then we can use you to do so. Now, what do we want to strip out of the deck? Probably one of the lives. Younger sister, we definitely don't want to gain Harmony in most situations, so... Yep. And we'll see what other interesting yield stuff we can gain. Yeah. Anything interesting? That'll be something at least. Redraw. Yep. Gain some yield. Now, I again don't quite want to go negative Harmony, so can't use either of those, and end survey. Okay, knowledge, adventure, safety. Desert is decent for knowledge and adventure, I think at the same time too. We do want to get those little safety buildings up. Like a desert small building just here. Yeah. Now we want to get guard post or wash house. Okay, we want watch post up to the 2nd tier one. For our fractured states. Place thing, whatever you want to call it. Let's just slot you in there, guardhouse. Slot you in there, watch post. Perfect. And now, knowledge and adventure, underground storehouse into Mirage Gate will get us some of all that. We do have the ability to gain a little bit more knowledge off the back of some of our other cards. We gain adventure off the back of big too. This will cost me a little bit of Harmony. Let's just use this draw here. Okay. Like, if I use you at the underground storehouse, and then let's just use the split on you. Now, that'll get me the knowledge. And an event. This event can give me... Okay, Archivist Seal at the cost of Harmony. I'll probably want to go Lettered Robe, honestly, though. Harmony's already pretty low. Mirage Gate are options here. That seems like a bad option, attempting to force your way through. We want the 40 option to get the full outcome here. Though we will actually meet that by the time we make it there, won't we? Right, yeah, let's go Mirage Gate. Gate is a simple doorway made of 3 enormous stones. From distance, strange landscapes flicker within its opening. Fires rising above alien cities, strange plants reaching for purple skies, lizards flying through the air. Yeah, the more experienced adventurers are sure there's a way to pass through. So let's send the experienced adventurers and scholars on a survey. Scholars study the inscriptions on the gate, cross-reference them with ancient texts, and prepare to activate its mechanism. It keeps the gate open for just a moment, but that's enough for the survey party to pass through. Days later, the party returns. They look haggard, fearful, and carrying something they did not have before. We walked for 3 days and saw no shadows, one says. Only once did we rest, and our fire made no smoke. The stars were wrong too, another adds. At least by the time we were about to give up, we found ourselves back in front of the gate. We can select a glyph. And I'll take farm out of these options. Yep, and this gives us the Mirage Gate. This portal leads somewhere unknowable. Those who enter come back with insights unlike anything seen before. But after such an experience, they lose all interest in exploring this shard. Yeah, so we can retrieve glyphs of high rarity tier to add to your glyph deck by sacrificing adventure. What lies beyond is wondrous, but unsettling. Those who glimpse it rarely wish to linger in the familiar. Okay, so I want to go all the way up to the Vanishing City? Feels wasteful, but I'm not aiming for this place to last too long. Let's try for it. Yep. You go there, you go there. I mean, keep that a secret, I guess. Redraw hand, and that'll get me some more harmony, but yeah, I can then spend that harmony on other useful things. Yep, use the fill. The Vanishing City. Once upon a blue moon, this gateway appears to lead to a city spoken of in legends, but no one who's stepped through has ever returned. Okay, and then, actually because of the curse, we didn't even gain that much. Rather than the adapt, we'll just gain a bit more adventure. Yep, and cut down on that. Gain a bit of yield, gain a bit of yield, and foray. Maboro Shimon, Illusion Gate, after its Mirage Gate. Reckon we cut another card out, looking at those options. Fruit, flower. Let us cut fruit. Okay, harmony and productivity. Why did you keep giving me harmony yields, game? Okay, Simian Omen. Bought in the hemp. That's the carp event we're looking for. Okay. So, Lake, Plains, Forest Lake. Kodama blocking the forest, that's fine. A Simian Omen, bought in the hemp. Okay, hemp retting station. So rather than go for the monkey, let's go for the main story. Which means we want to get a little bit of harmony out of here. They'll upset the Kodama. Let's just tackle this first. When the labourers came to collect the processed hemp, they find several of the bundles tangled together. Something appears to be caught in them, but it's hard to tell what. It will take a while to untangle the foul-smelling bundles, and the retters are loath to brave the stench for that long. Drag the hemp out before untangling it, cut the bundles apart, try to untangle the bundles in the water. I don't think we want to leave it alone. If we cut it, they'll be swift, but we run the risk of damaging whatever's in there. Dragging the hemp out, if it's a fish, that might kill it. This seems like the dangerous option, but would leave a fish alive if it is, and we suspect this is a carp from the context of the story. Let's try to untangle the bundles in the water. One of the workers ties several... Yes. Correct. New crest, befriending the carp. Encounter a carp, help the carp on its journey, appreciate the carp's perseverance. Step 1, done. One of the workers ties several layers of cloth around their face and wades into the water. It's hard work, but eventually the bundles are untangled, releasing a carp that was stuck between them, who eagerly swims away. The carp was saved. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Now, indigo fermentation pads or cloth rinsing station will get me the rest of the productivity we're looking for. So, harmony-wise, Eternal Glade or Forest Monastery? I mean, That would be life into life. That would also need a life for the second one, which we're not really in a position to tackle. The fill could also grab something useful. Probably. It could maybe do life or one of these, which would also be good for us. Let's just use the draw first. See what we get. Okay, okay. Let us go... yeah. Down through the hidden shrine. So that'll be random discard. Yeah, let's get rid of the Kadama first. Well, I remember it's there. Let's go down past the... towards the Eternal Glade, since that's the one with the safety on it. And now we can reduce... well, we can eliminate the risk of the fill going in the wrong location by tagging you on there and then continuing. Cloth rinsing station. There we go. That's all the productivity we need. And now we fill. And I don't need to keep a secret because I reckon I want to just put that straight there. The Eternal Glade. Redraw a hand. Okay, okay. We do not have... yeah, the thing we need to go there. Oh well. Yeah, we're not getting the Eternal Glade in. Meaning we can just use the Satisfy off this to cover that. Gain some yield off the back of these. Oh, and end the foray. Suzuki Gichi, Rinsing Shore, after its cloth rinsing station. Alone inspires but conjures isolate. Potentially useful. I'll take alone. Yeah. For a 6/6, and we still haven't gotten this second watch post in. I need another request for a safety yield, but we're just kind of not getting it. So we are going to need to go past this medium part. I mean, we're not up to the safety amount we need anyway. So, Rocky Cliff, good for a bunch of these. Yeah, Knowledge, Adventure, and Harmony. And then, like, Step and Rocky Cliff, or Lanes and Rocky Cliff. Again, another requested Harmony yield. Now, the Tengu is going to hurt our productivity, that's fine. Actually, you know what I think I'd like to do? We have the 50 adventure. I think I would like to gain a powerful glyph from the Mirage Gate. See what this does. Okay, I was a bit worried when I saw those first two. Yeah, plus 115% rarity though. We're venturing through here. We can get Ghost, Recycle 1, Divine 6, and that's Life, Stability, Radiant, Spirit. That is indeed a pretty good card. And then let's grab... sure, just Plains and Rocky Cliff here. I did kind of want the Tengu, didn't I? So let's go here. Petroglyph Cave event 2. Yeah, so the Petroglyph Cave would give us the knowledge we need. And some of the adventure. Head down here, that would be the Harmony and some of the knowledge. Yeah, I haven't seen that event. I am curious to see what it's about, though. So let's head in that direction. This also gets me... you? Yeah. Lose some stuff. So on this side, I'm going to be short a bit of Harmony. Good on knowledge. No adventure over here, though. So... Cricket Choir, probably over here is kind of what I want to go for. Which means I'm thinking we might actually just grab you there. I don't think I have another use for that card at this point. At the Stalactite Cavern. And then... ooh. That's just kind of a bit rough. The options we really have here. We're not drawing the cards I would have liked to see. We'll just gain some yield off this. And at least we can continue get into there. And hopefully we draw the basic ones we need to get down towards the cricket choir. It just needs some life. And we have a 100% chance to get at least one life, which is nice to see. Curious settlers shuffle into the petroglyph cave. The main chamber is large, the walls covered with a variety of glyphs. Someone in ages past has reinforced the ceiling, and the wood still holds, despite the dampness. The cave narrows in the back, leading deeper into the dark. The symbols there are fainter, the carvings subtler, but it seems others once descended further. Okay, for adventure, if I still had adventure and hadn't spent it, we could follow the faint sound of water, secure a route downwards, search for sources of light, stay near the surface and record the findings. Let us search for sources of light. A few enterprising settlers block the way behind to shut out light, then wait. Slowly, a faint greenish light becomes visible in the darkness. As they descend, glowing fungi mark a sloping tunnel. Beyond it are more glyphs carved into damp pebbles. One of the glyphs is glowing. It appears that a strange lichen has grown within the carving, giving it a soft green glow. Whenever you fill 2 life essence slots in a row, restore 5 inspiration. Glows where life blooms across the lands. Yep. And yeah, cannot slot that in to try and delay the curse indefinitely. Oh well. Yeah, and then Thistlefield into the cricket choir. Don't really want to grab the curse here, so I use you, yeah, I don't actually need... Yeah, that'll just give me another spirit, so that's fine. Let's use this draw, though. And, yep. Spend a you there. A you there. Cricket choir. Sparrow and the cicada. Sparrow dies in a cicada in a sudden motion that seems to split the air in two. Settlers pause mid-step, enthralled. It's an everyday occurrence, yet it feels significant. There's a brief moment to intervene. Let us study the interaction. The cicada is easily caught mid-air, and the sparrow lands on the ground, the prey secure in its beak. After methodically pulling off the cicada's legs, the sparrow enjoys its meal, emits a satisfied chirrup, and flies away. Now I could grab some more harmony, and then spend some harmony here too in order to gain the rest of the adventure. Can I do that in its entirety? So like, both of you two would provide me with these, and then the Phil would get that last one. Yes, we can. I reckon that's worth doing here. Yep. And that drives up the amount of harmony we need well over what we want. And we can spend some, gain some more yield. I'm 34 at the moment. Bora, ancient cavern, after its petroglyph cave. Another split, turn for despairing. I think let's just remove a glyph. Let's get rid of rest. Up to the convergence. Yeah, and I still need more safety, a bunch more safety really, and one more watch post too. So, current locations, we do need harmony, which I suppose makes sense for what we've been doing. We need knowledge, we need adventure, we need safety. So place to build is probably on a harmony location up in the mountains. You're like down here, this can be the capital. There we go, and now we can afford to connect a place up. We'll want to be one of the harmony locations, just because they're generally a bit more difficult to fill. Yep. Now, because we want a bunch of unconnected settlements, so I think we'll just leave that in this location. Take the curse and the split here. And let's see what we're looking at. So, put one of those in. I'll spend some craft stuff down here. I don't have any beauty shortages, so you can go in there. Adventure. You can slot in there. no life shortages. Yeah, I think you're going to be an adventure here since we're good on stability for this location. You're going to want you as well. Yeah, slot you in there. And you in there. And then we're looking for craft and radiance. Craft and radiance. Keep, please. And I guess we can make you provide food too. Okay. Craft. Lock that in. Radiance. We can slot you in there. We can adapt 2 things. Chances for radiance. Please be, yes, a radiance. Excellent. And that spends some more harmony, and that satisfies that. Perfect. Let's just make you provide. Probably not necessary, but end convergence. Yep, shortages filled, only 1 settlement connected. I will increase my hand size, sure. Salvage glyph. What do we reckon? Earth, flower. On the advanced ones, the fill, divine. Continue. Let's salvage bright. And flower. Come on, I just need a safety yield. Please. Please, my friend. Let's reroll. That is not a safety yield, friend. High food over on the hills and the plains. There is an event over here. And you... Okay, you're just going to block one of the plains. Let's just see what this new event is. Oh, stone quarry? Can I get sufficient food out of these 2? I reckon I probably can. Let's get some more drawers in that we pull. Okay, stone quarry. We are really short on the change essence we're going to need. Real short. I reckon we're just going to pacify you using the automatic. And just slot you in there for the moment. Yeah, the whole pile. We can gain a fertility glyph, which will be another change. We gain the safety here. Yeah, spread the holes on the earthen floors. Always more harmony if I go that route. Always more harmony if I go that route. So let us instead place you in there, kudzu plantation. And we use farm. Get some more, as well as the buckwheat field. Cool. That's our requirement met. And now, hopefully we can get the stone quarry at some point before too long. Recycle 1, divine 6. And let's just try that, see what we get. Oh, good. We got, yep, something suitable. Just keep whatever. Probably going to be finished up on what we can build anyway very shortly. Ah, the tiger. A mourning beast. Heavy rains have turned the bottom of the quarry into a muddy pit. In this pit, huddled under a small overhang of ivy, is a tiger. The beast has been there for days, looking miserable, occasionally emitting sorrowful moans. A wildlife warden reports that it had recently lost its cubs to a rock slide. Yeah, revive the tiger's spirit. Roar a fierce challenge down into the quarry. More so than scaring the beast away, this could be the other possible positive option, building a makeshift roof to help keep the rain off it. Leaving it to its misery definitely won't do it. Let us roar a fierce challenge down into the quarry. There we go. That riled her up. A brave settler steps to the edge of the pit, cups her hands, and lets out a booming roar. The tiger snaps to attention, its eyes flashing with renewed intensity. It rises to the challenge and lets out a deafening roar, while proudly stalking away into the wilderness. spirit is reinvigorated. So the tiger companion lets us spend 2 glyphs, including a change, in order to draw a glyph. A creature of pure power, taking on obstacles with brute force. Useful in situations where we have like a lot more stuff than we can readily use. Yeah, definitely using you. And then, honestly, I think I'm going to use you to lose harmony rather than grab the kudzu plantation. And yeah, we'll just redraw. And then lose some more harmony here. And here. There we go. That's got our harmony down. And yield off that too. Oh. And foray. Kudzu no Sato, Arrowroot Town, after its kudzu plantation. Not the most inspired set of stuff. Discard something else basic here. Let's drop Join, maybe? Drop Divination. We do have quite a few of these just basic cards still. Like, you're real useful. Let's drop up, I think. High Beauty. We'll use our other reroll here. Command Safety. Beauty Knowledge. Still no safety. You know what? I should be able to... You're not even a good set of stuff for that. Large Building could do me some knowledge stuff. Yeah, let's still wait on trying to get the safety building. So, we have Sibling Rivalry as an annual event. Nice to see. Studying All Night for the Tortoise. Yeah, let's go Plains, Large Building, Scrubland. Try and get the Tortoise one out of this. Yeah, out of the archives. Yeah, we can use the curse to split you just immediately. Cool. Grab you, Public School. And we can grab you, Archives. There we go. And now this has to be go to sleep. Just stop studying, observe the turtle, and fall asleep to it. Inspired by the turtle's unrushed effort, the student decides to pace himself. He rolls up his scroll and lies down, falling asleep within minutes. To retain more knowledge after a good rest. There we go. Learn not to rush, only to find the turtle again and take the long-term view. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Now, Beauty over here is heavily associated with Harmony. Paper Studio will give me 15. That will give me 10. We can afford to gain some Harmony here. Grab Farm there. Draw some more stuff. Yeah, and that'll be you in there for the Sacred Grove. Yep, and then you can go there, grab the Endless Blossoms. We'll start spending some Harmony. Yeah, the curse is really helping to keep this low, which is nice. Now, what do I want to do with you? Woodblock Print Studio? I mean, we can start work towards that at least. And over on this side, we could start either here or here. I mean, definitely don't want to do the Harmony one, so I guess we'll start on the Mulberry Patch. And grab the Silkweaver's Hut. Sure. Gain the yield off that. Gain the yield off that. Redraw hand. I mean, yeah, let's just continue to get that done. Woodblock Print Studio. Perfect. Paper hangs from ceiling lines while carvers lean over their blocks, printing history one color at a time. And in meeny miny mo, let's gain some more adventure since we're lower on that. Yep, and end foray. Oceano. Teaching field after its public school. And I'll take system. Now, You know what? I'm going to stop aiming for the goals. We're just going to go ahead and get the development we're aiming for here. Small buildings. Let's grab the town square too while we're at it. Haunting here. Development's activated. Discard a random glyph. Yep, over in that small building. And Tranquil Garden. Yeah, I've almost seen that event before, but only once. So let's go for the guardhouse over on this side. Means we probably want to go toss you in, watch post. There we go. Requirements for the shard culture met. Perfect, perfect. Now over here we can go the tea house. Oh yeah, discarding stuff, right? Forgot about you. And anything I want to spend on before grabbing the Tranquil Garden then, since that'll be the last thing, and that's just reserving water. So I haven't seen this event yet. Stone of Remembrance. First arena. Grab the poem, but I definitely don't want to do that because that'll open me up to another like shard culture, which I don't want to aim for at this point. Communal paths. Cannot see the last option here. Not really concerned about getting the landmark. Let us lock you in there, and I'll aim for the Stone of Remembrance in a moment. I'll just soak the inspiration lost off knowledge. Let's just use you for the yield. And discard something. Flower arranging. The garden's master florist is preparing an arrangement for the township's founding ceremony. We need to choose an anchor, a single strong branch reaching up into the heavens. So, if we choose a dead branch, we get the nothing glyph. The supple willow, graceful in its resilience. The budding plum, a promise of blooms to come. Let's go for this twisted pine, a strong, sacred vessel. The florist selects the heavy, gnarled pine branch. It's evergreen and unyielding, scarred by harsh seasons, yet stronger for it. She boldly angles this anchor branch upward, and to complement its harshness, adds a line of stiff golden grass reaching out from the arrangement. Finally, she places a massive chrysanthemum on a bed of moss, the soft bloom safely sheltered beneath the protective canopy of the evergreen. Oh, we get pine and some safety. Excellent, excellent. Now, we did want the Stone of Remembrance over here for this other event. The plaza smells of hot chestnuts and old wood. Someone has swept the dust from the names chiseled into the stone monument. We remember them, a settler says. Some of them, and not always fondly, another corrects. A few of the younger settlers carve new names, earning glares from their elders. Host a remembrance feast, share stories about the inscribed names. I don't really want to earn a lot of harmony. This seems like it might... That's definitely a harmony-related event there. Let's try hosting a remembrance feast. Food is shared until everyone is full, and then full again. A single glyph is carved into the stone. Let this guide us, the council leader declares, until the stone wears smooth. Choose a glyph to make innate. Now, innate means it's always in our starting hand. Let us take Clamor. Yeah, and this is the landmark option. So the Stone of Remembrance. The obelisk stands at the center of the square, marked with names too worn to read and symbols too recent to forget. Here, the settlers gather not to honor the past blindly, but to choose which parts of it still matter. With food and memory shared, a lesson is set in stone and carried forward, lest we make glyphs innate by investing food. People gather not to forget, but to remember what fed them, what guided them, and what made them smile. Our ancestors rest in the carvings on this stone. Now we redraw the hand, draw some more stuff, and yeah, we can gain the knowledge too. Thank you very much, Lecture, for getting rid of most of that. And we'll just get rid of you just for the sake of it. We can even satisfy a bit more of that with that. Cool. We draw something useful. And beauty. I'll take some beauty. Yep, just lose a bit of inspiration here. We met the requirements we needed. Sensuida, Garden Pond Field, after its tranquil garden. Ooh, Foster. That is a new epic, change life, craft radiance with harmony and safety on it. Might as well add that to the deck. And a new survey. New possible encounters over here, down here too. Up over there. I think there are some like associated with going near the edge of the shard. There's a very small pool here, 3 of which are new. So let's start the survey from here this time. And yep, we'll just start. No need to do anything else. The uncountable flock. A flock of tiny white birds flies up from the reeds. More and more of them. We identify them, maximum inspiration. We can also listen to their calls or count them. Let's try counting them. It says it's impossible, but let's see for certain. The scouts try to count the birds surrounding them. They lose count. After losing count again and again, they finally give up. There must be at least 1,000. Okay, yeah, 1,000. Yeah, this is fun. So divine 1,000 essentially means see your entire deck in order and move any cards into the discard if you want to. Let you know exactly what's coming. Probably requires more planning and thought put into it than I typically do. Oh, we're definitely not losing like safety or gaining that much harmony, so I guess we're going to spend like some inspiration to make the thief carry her pack. Just use you here now. Yep, make the thief carry her pack. Wild fruits. Again, we keep getting the same ones. Food gain or safety loss. And yeah, I cannot take radiance in there, so let's just cook the fruit, gain some food. Little Cliff Shrine. This one's a bit rare. We have seen it before, though. Yeah, the air is oppressively hot and humid as the survey team makes its way to the top of the cliff. Tiny shrine overlooks the site, sheltering a little stone pillar wrapped in a beautiful jade necklace. If you clean it, we get priestess. If you pray at something, we do have the option, however, with low harmony, to just take the necklace. I'm curious to see what this does. One of the scouts takes a liking to the necklace and decides to keep it as a memento. She rinses it in the stream, watching it glimmer bright green in the cool water. Before she can stuff the necklace into her sleeve, one of her teammates demands she hand it over, knowing that he'd spotted the shrine first. The others, hearing the commotion, likewise protest. By the time they resolve the disagreement, the necklace is torn apart, each scout keeping a few of the stones. When you gain beauty, gain 50% more, but lose that much harmony. Yeah, that's really tanked our harmony now too. You can't have enough beauty, even if it requires sacrifice. Okay, the odd rock. Let's see. Yeah, I can't go for any of the fancy ones, unfortunately, so we'll just mark it with the signpost. And the path ahead. Tim has gotten into an argument deciding where to go next. 3 of the scouts disagree, each pointing in a different direction and refusing to budge. I mean, let's try to resolve with logic. I'll slot you in, and I guess let's use 1,000. And I would like radiance, please. You know what? Let's just get rid of everything that is not radiance. This is a good idea. I mean, probably not. I could use some of those other cards for other things. But ta-da! Oh, I think that, yeah, pulled our discards back into our draw stack. I don't know if I've realized that. I don't know if I've ever gotten through my full draw stack before. And yeah, resolve with logic. The team asks each of the scouts to outline their reasons. After a brief debate, they end up finding a new choice they all agree on. Or just straight 10 insight. That's very useful. Let's be slightly kind to harmony. Use Foster. There we go. Gain some inspiration back. Tiny bit more yield too. End the survey. Yep, and I do think we meet the requirements. We've seen some new events and stuff. We're going to finish up the expedition here. Get this shard culture. Kenko Iwa, the Fractured States. Firm Rock. Excellent, excellent. Now, keep a selected glyph. We want Ghost or Foster. Change, Life, Craft, Radiance. Let's take Foster. That could be my kept glyph. Return to the Haven. And, yep, so new part of the Land of Bottled Lightning. With time, the people of Raiko no Kuni learned to store the lightning, like a venomous snakes charmed into a basket. The vast cellars below the Stormwatch Citadel were filled with jars of gold leaf and brine, each charged with enough lightning to stop a heart. It's said that in these basements, one clumsy step can start a storm. Last part of the Hallowed Lands. Social friction on Junri no Haishi is non-existent. Disagreement is considered a spiritual impurity, a sickness of the soul. The prescribed cure is a week of fasting, though consensus is usually achieved by lunchtime. The faith, so widespread among Junri no Haishi's inhabitants, does have benefits though. When a contagious fever arrived in Mitsugahara, the people did not panic. They simply stayed inside and chanted for weeks, accidentally inventing quarantine. Now, Turning Society. Do this one first since it's the part 4. This culture of aggressive positivity has created a peculiar social pressure in the marketplace of Kajimehama. Haggling has been turned on its head, transforming into reverse bidding, where the seller insists the price is too high, and the buyer insists it's too low. Disputes resolved quickly, usually because both parties are worried that a prolonged argument might trigger a turning, which nearly everyone agrees is socially exhausting. And the paper distributors, Kami no Kuni. In the early days, the temples in Kami no Kuni thought to spread the teachings of the Enlightened One to every household. The set monks did the tedious task of copying the holy text, and gave out copies to temple visitors. Junior scribes, finding their wrists sore and their sleeves empty, began a side business. They copied the daily postings from village notice boards and sold them as single-page news broadsheets. People could buy a broadsheet and read a month's worth of posting without having to visit the notice board every day. We're inventing newspapers. Let's see where this is from. Yeah. Holding the Hoshi newspaper. Now we only have 3 shard cultures left. The Inkless Lands, a Gourmand's Heaven, and a Healer's Rest. Now I think I'm going to pin a Healer's Rest to our quest. And so this involves acquire the Butterbur Extract Relic from the Plains Vent, the Giant Butterbur. This event has a very clearly labelled obtain the extract option, which I'm assuming is the one that gives it, then 150 knowledge, and a House of Healing development in a large building, which I have not built before, and I cannot remember what it gives. We'll find out. Now we have some more insight to spend, 260. It allows us to preview the shard map, increases the size of the area explored, doubles the strokes gained when salvaging, more goal rerolls, better replanning. Let us... Let's make uncommon starting relics appear in the pool. Grab that one too. And now, launching the expedition. One thing to do, guarantee an event. One of these is the Butterbur one. We want to... That one looks right. Yes, the Giant Butterbur. We want to guarantee that because we need that event to trigger the shard culture we're aiming for. And now we can switch out some of the starter glyphs we decided. I think I would probably rather have wind instead. Person, the split is useful here, but instead of city, we could instead go bear for the thing there. Loyalty for more blessings. Yeah, I think rather than the adapt, I would like a blessing. So, which you want to go, bear or loyalty? Adventure can be difficult, but that is a double blessing. Let's go loyalty. Yeah, we'll stick with the ability to curse harmony or bless harmony as I choose. And let us embark. When a survey includes a mountain biome, increase hand size by 1. Can't say that seems like it's going to be happening too much. Global shortages no longer cause inspiration loss. Increase all goals by 15%, but gain the study glyph at the start of each stage. That one could end up quite harmful if this continues on for too long. Whereas, my large building is way up there. I'm going to need to rush across the map. Let's just take the paper plumage. Rope basket? Paper plumage. It's unlikely to actually come up, but that'll be nice. Okay, forest and lake. Down here, yeah, that's going to be 2 lake events, I think, both of the animals, which we do want to see. We'll just grab you right there. I could instead do lake and step, but then we don't get the events we're looking for. Start the foray. Yeah, Lotus Pond into Island Shrine, that'll even let us... Well, I don't even need to worry about the shortages anymore. There's the paper plumage, but that will make up the shortages anyway, and that's where the events are at, so... If I split you, I can make use of that, so we will just split you. Grab the Lotus Pond. Ever since the shattering, cats of the shard have had to adapt to the new environment. Let us instead leave the animals alone. Settlers look on as the cat finally makes its move. There we go. Observe a cat hunting, deal with roof cats, and adopt a cat. Despite its lightning-fast swipe, the toad manages to escape. The cat looks sheepish for a moment. Before immediately beginning to groom its paw, projects an air of absolute certainty that meant to do that. Cat is pleased to be left undisturbed. I want to go for the Island Shrine. Over here, the other event, the monkeys, a simian omen. The Island Shrine is a popular spot for visitors who arrive regularly to leave offerings and enjoy the breeze. So, dedicating the shrine to the monkeys, incorrect option. Leads to angry monkeys stealing everything as they gain diplomatic immunity. So, theological implications of the monkey's behavior. We could give it the fruit. Consider the offering inauspicious. Let's try considering the offering inauspicious. The monkeys decided they disliked it. The head priest concludes that the monkey is a divine messenger sent to warn them that the fruit is impure. The priests carefully dispose of the offering and begin a lengthy purification ritual. The monkey watches them throw the fruit away, deeply disappointed in human intelligence. Good monkey. So Omen. Connection, Spirit, Inspire 2, Divine 4. And then over here, Woodcutter's Camp. That tackles that. Well, we can go the Lumberyard without having to worry about the Harmony negative. So, let us do so. We'll gain the yield off the back of that. And can't be bothered divining. Let's just see what we pull. Okay, we get our Harmony yield back up anyway. Lovely to see. End foray. Asuda, Lotus Paddy, after its Lotus Pond. Okay, I could grab Village immediately. Let us do so since it's giving us a good card. Adventure and Beauty. Need to push right up towards here fast as we can. Forests. Sibling Rivalry. I think the Forest Adventure is located on one of its really high level things. But I can get lanes and step here. Yeah, that's not going to cut it. So I'm just... we're just going forest and step. And where's the Sibling Rivalry? Okay, Wildlife Sanctuary is on the way to the Verdant Labyrinth. We do kind of want. Bit short on the life stuff we're looking for. Let us just suspend you there and work our way down towards it. Now the painted pillars. And we'll just grab that one. Now, fill 1 will hit either that or one of these. Any of these outcomes I'm probably fine with. I could just lock in the wind chimes to make certain we go Wildlife Sanctuary. Or do this. Yeah, let's go Dancing Windsocks. Lock that in since we do need knowledge. For this one, 150 knowledge. And then fill 1. Deep in the Wildlife Sanctuary, a forester has been observing a crane nest in an old pine. 2 chicks have hatched, but they fight relentlessly. The forester notes the parent crane seems to favour the stronger chick, offering it most of the food. It's a harsh reality of nature, but the forester's determined to see both of the fuzzy little creatures survive the season. Save the crane chick. Swap the 2 chicks regularly, take the weaker chick and raise it. Definitely not the last one. Let's try taking the chick and raising it as a pet. Accepting that the 2 chicks will not cease fighting on their own, the forester carefully removes the weaker chick. She keeps it in a warm, padded basket and nurtures it carefully. The chick clearly thinks the forester is a strange, large bird, but imprints on her completely and survives to fly off within a few months. Excellent. Nurture, life and craft, and the chick is saved. Now, Verdant Labyrinth. Yep. Slot you in there. You can go... Okay, we have the same amount of connection to spirit, same chance to draw either of them. So, I mean, I guess you can go into the connection location. And... I guess we'll just take the blessing. I don't think it's going to matter, but... I mean, we could potentially gain some from that, so that's okay. Yeah, you slot in there. You slot in there. Verdant Labyrinth. The entwined canopies of these ancient trees have turned this part of the forest into a maze of twisty little passages, all alike. Yep, and we gain some yields. And continue on. Yep. Shikakage Mori, Dear Shadow Forest. I have in cart, we're removing a glyph. We are removing a basic life glyph. Yeah, let's take out Flower. Harmony and Knowledge. Mountains and Plains. Giant Butterbur, we can aim for the event here. Oh, there's... Okay. River has an event we're looking for. And get River and Mountains here, not quite what we're looking for. But... yeah, and get the Butterbur later. I'm curious to see about this event. So, Mountains, River, let's go. Okay, Pontoon Bridge. That's nice. We can get the... Yep. Harmony here, so we're looking at Knowledge over here, Ember Monastery for the event. Let's make certain to lock you in. Pontoon Bridge. Folks crossing the pontoon bridge notice a carp trying to swim upstream past them. Since the boats are tied together so tightly, the carp is unable to get through. For some reason, the stubborn fish hasn't realised it can swim under the boats, and instead keeps ramming them, trying to get them to move out of its way. Pontoon Bridge, 1853 to 1858. So, our options here, befriending the carp. Catch the carp, move it over, throw rice into the water. Let's untie the boats to let the carp through. The settlers untie one of the boats to make a gap for the carp to get through. This works, and the carp safely passes the bridge, continuing its journey upstream. However, the action comes at a cost. Before the settlers are able to tie the boats back together, the river pushes them apart, in 2 sections quickly ending up on opposing banks. Although no one is hurt, it takes considerable effort to put the bridge back together. For that, progresses further along. Okay, we still need to befriend the carp. It's still not done yet. Okay, yeah, befriend the carp, commune with the dragon. The perfect place for those who think rope bridges are too stable. Yep, just slot you in there, into the crater. Slot you in there, Ember Monastery, Ember Trial, so Molten Pin or Paper Charm. The Ore Glyph is potentially quite useful. Let's take the Molten Pin since we can grab that one this time. And you can just fill one slot somewhere. Cool. Redraw hand. Grab the Dragon's Rest if we can at this point. Don't reckon we'll be able to, no. Not going to work. Oh well. Let's gain a bit of yield then. Should have gone the Blessing first there. And foray. Kurobotari, Twilight Crossing, after its dock. Time, stick, another discard. Another discard. Let us discard Divination. Regional Survey, push up towards the large building. Yep, let's go. Yep, start survey, no need to prepare. Dream Crossing. So, build a makeshift bridge to gain productivity. Scout for narrow point to save on cards. Let us just save on cards. Heavy Burden. Restore some inspiration. Sure. Rather than lose stuff. The Abandoned Temple. Okay, so we could take the odd statuette here. I think is probably the option to do. Yep, look for anything unusual, and that will mean that Radiance, well, let's grab myself here, yeah, every 2 Radiance Essence slots filled, we gain 15 Harmony. Thieving Wind. Choose to take another card out of the deck. I will take that option. Select a glyph to remove. Let us see, extract one of the basics maybe. Let's take fruit out. The dense bamboo. Okay, cut a straight path, navigate. Keep your secret and then redraw. Yep, and that gets me that back and lets me... Oh, we can split 2. Make use of that. Cut a straight path. We've got the All Essence. So preparing for a storm. Yeah, lose inspiration, reinforce the camp. Okay, this is the last one, so it hardly even matters. Let's instead just use you for the yield. Use you for the yield. I might as well use the all. Reinforce the camp. Survey is finished. Okay, so beauty and food. Small building, step, hill. Small building, step. Yeah, small building, step. I do need the giant butterbur though. Actually, let's aim for this. So plains and step just here. And yep, you're going to be blocking off a location. Will just cost 1 change to get rid of. Yeah, herb garden. Oh, yes, we're not actually going to be able to get food out of this, are we? Since I do need to go for that event. Well, hopefully we will survive. We can split that happily enough. Toss you in there. Wildflower meadow. And then, yeah, just, do I want to do the stability off the back of this, maybe? Yeah, I'll turn you into stability. Herb garden. The giant butterbur. Butterbur plants were meant to be a modest patch for cough medicine. Something the soil disagreed with that plan, though. Stems have surged to the height of a house. Now what we want to do is distill it into a potent extract. The herbalist selects the most potent roots and the juiciest leaves. They're boiled down, strained, and boiled again until only a thick, dark resin remains. There's enough to last the settlement for a long while. Some of the resin is packed into small jars to send on with the expedition. The first 7 times you draw a negative glyph in each stage, draw another glyph. Yeah, let's kind of get through negative glyphs. That is quite nice. A single drop clears the mind. 2 drops, and you'll wish you were asleep. And we're not getting food from this side, so I might as well go ahead and see what we can get out of the event. Go to the cricket choir. Yeah, the sparrow and the cicada. Let's see the last option here. Let's save the cicada from the sparrow. Hands rise, clapping sharply. The sparrow startles, its quarry escapes, and the air fills with a self-satisfied cry of survival. It won't be the last cicada the settlers see on this shard. Future opportunities have changed. Something changed somewhere. Interesting. And might as well grab the blessings. Aspire to divine. Okay, we can gain some food from that. Well, with less stuff from that, so to redraw off this. Yep. Could be worse, could be worse. And foray. Usurida, medicine field, after its herb garden. Let's try a reroll, see if I can get something better. There we go. Pearl is better. Yep. I can even conjure pig out of that if I need spirit from it. Adventure and food. Yes, step gives no of either of those. Ow. Yeah, this big step kind of pile is a bit annoying. Where's a good adventure location? And I might have to backtrack down here to the swamps or the forest or something. Braving the Waterfall, a Grim Feast, that's a story event. Yeah, Braving the Waterfall story event. So yeah, we do want to go for the cliff here. Rocky Cliff and Swamp. Yep. And we have the Onibi here. Yeah, whenever an essence slot in this site is filled, lose 5 random foray gold. That's on the swamp. Let's start the foray. Okay, Waterfall Vale. Which is none of the things we need, but that is the story. So let's aim for that. You can deal with the curse happily. So let's split you. Get rid of you. So we can go adventure into adventure stuff here. Yeah, can't do food adventure on the same one, and we definitely want to go for the story. So, bird nesting cliff. Into the Waterfall Vale. Really high chance we draw a change. I do want to use the life over here. Let us divine 1. Okay, fill and conjure. Not the change we're looking for, so we discard you. 92% chance. Let's use that. Inspire to divine 4. Okay, we're still not pulling the things we want. Let's just keep discarding all of that. We just have to hope we get lucky on the Waterfall Vale. I'll go over there. Murky Trail. A Grim Feast. By the side of the trail is a murky pond teeming with tadpoles. One of the tadpoles floats lifelessly to the surface. A nearby frog suddenly lashes out its tongue, snaps up the dead tadpole, and swallows it whole. The settlers are horrified by this act of cannibalism. And we needed to appreciate the cycle of life. Explain it as practical animal behavior. Identify the frog as an evil spirit, rescue the remaining tadpoles, chase the frog away. No. Explain it as practical animal behavior. There we go. A scholar explains that animals do not follow human sensibilities, and in nature, a dead tadpole would just go to waste. Rather than accuse the frog of cannibalism, she commends it for making the best use of its resources. The settlers nod, but few are truly convinced. Some settlers gain an appreciation for natural cycles. This frog lets nothing go to waste. Okay, lets me draw a random glyph from the discards if possible. and like increasing costs over the stage. Interesting, interesting. Now, I could go glowing lantern path. Would you kind of want knowledge? If I make it down to the hut down here, that would give me it. I think we're going to try for that. We did discard a lot of radiance, so I wasn't thinking ahead on that side. Okay, we managed to get one of the radiances. That is nice. Yep. Waterfall Veil. Get this event. Ah, we got all two. That's also nice. Settlers having a picnic by the bottom of the cliff notice a curious scene. A carp has somehow gotten stuck in the little pool at the foot of the waterfall and is desperately trying to swim up the torrent. The poor fish keeps jumping out of the falling stream, only to plop back down into the water. It swims in a circle for a moment, then repeats its attempt. At one point, it somehow ends up on a higher ledge, only to be immediately washed back down. Carp ascending a waterfall, 1847 to 1852. Now, befriending the carp. So drawing the scene isn't going to help it appreciably. Keeping the fish away from the waterfall also won't let it get up the waterfall. So do we trust it to do it on its own, or physically throw it up there? Let's try physically throwing it up the waterfall. Nah, I didn't think that would work. I thought that might backfire, and yep, indeed that's how that happened. One of the settlers grabs the carp and hurls it upwards, hoping to help it along. Things do not go as planned. The fish hits a ledge, bounces back, falls into a crack in the cliff. Efforts to get it out end in failure. Meantime, we can get some knowledge at least from that. You can get that. You can get that. Knowledge, a bit more adventure. Good, good, good. And we can try and grab some more stuff too. Volcano, mossy field, after its apothecary hut. So take chat. We're getting a lot of stuff associated with harmony, like gain harmony, bless harmony, target harmony. I guess that's just how things are working out. Okay, high beauty. Really need to get to that large settlement over there. Step and hill, small building. Plains. New haunting over here, that's interesting. Let's go Plains Hill. So, the Bashno no Se. A rot spirit is haunting this hill, appearing as human faces in the rot on banana leaves. Lose food, curse food. When food is gained in this site, specifically. And Bamboo Grove has the event. Like, only food location we actually have the tea terrace this time. And Beauty over here, yeah, Endless Blossom event. I really want to see that. So I guess we could fill one to conjure. Probably don't want to risk that at this point. Yeah, ideally I would need them for... Yeah, I need like a life there, and a connection there to make the fill safe to use. Which is not readily happening, no. I guess we're just spending this instead. So you can go... Yep, over here. Get the Bamboo Grove event. Adorned Bamboo Grove lies unsettled. Several of the younger stalks have been snapped halfway up. No claw marks or footprints, only the wind. Could be the rainstorm, wild peace, perhaps travellers taking a shortcut. What do we do with the broken stalks? The first time you cast discard, draw, whittle them into chopsticks, carve a flute, store for future use. Let us whittle the broken bamboo into chopsticks. The settlers gather the fallen stalks, trimming them down into simple tools. 100 slender pairs of chopsticks takes shape. Whatever caused the damage, life must go on. Discard 2, recycle 2. Disability craft. Okay. And now we're going to use you for your life essence. You, your life essence. You, your connection. Get the Sacred Grove. And yeah, I think we will just use you in there to get towards the Endless Blossoms. I think I will keep you secret. And then just use you. If I get a change, I can pacify that, then use that craft in the Tea Terrace. Indeed I can. Pacify that. Stick you in there, get the Endless Blossoms. The flowers here bloom without end. Even as petals fly off in the wind, new ones begin sprouting. Yeah, so the scholar wants to dig stuff up to study it. We can approve a full excavation, which might hurt beauty. Allow the study of a single plant, bid any study. Let us allow the study of a single plant. The scholar spends hours with the root finally, but shrugs in frustration. Too little to learn, she mutters. The flower, once removed, withers. Okay, no outcome for that. Yeah, I don't think I can make it down here further. So instead, let's just go you there. And we can gain a bit of inspiration, gain a bit of yield, and then a tiny chance we happen to recycle 2 appropriate cards. Let's do so. We did not. We did, however, gain some stuff that we can gain yield off. And foray. Ayu Balka, Greenleaf Hill, after its Tea Terrace. Yeah, again, still not entirely convinced by these cards we're being offered. Let us remove a glyph. To take rid of one of the crafts or another one of the basic ones. Let's go to the stone. Yeah, we're up to the convergence. Keep pushing towards the large building up there somewhere. Okay, we're short. Yeah, we can't cover any of our shortages here. Safety, we're definitely not going to be able to make with another card. Forest. I'm trying to remember what even gets safety as a capital. I think like canyons and stuff maybe. Not exactly an option we have available to us. Adventure's one we have the most of. So a swamp capital over here. Desert also gives it to us. So yeah, I think explore out this direction with the capital. Get a desert. Yep, and then we can connect up some of these locations. Cover the shortages here at least. Okay. We definitely want to split here. We can actually cover the craft shortage here simple enough. So I'll do that. Means we're looking at like safety in the main settlement hopefully, which cannot readily provide. Like, yeah, we need up to 60, so we're well short of that. I think we're probably just like slotting you in there. Yeah, even like you in there. Now, chance of drawing a connection is very high, so we'll use universal in that one too. Back to the capital and let us, yep, just slot some of this stuff in. Redraw hand. Oh, definitely got the connection. Got you in there. You connect up there. Cool. Now, and I guess you go there, and you might as well slot in there to get a connection. We connect one of the other settlements for the future. What are we producing that we're not currently showing? Actually, we're good on everything here, even the stuff in other locations, so I mean, I guess I'll connect up this settlement along the road it's pretty much already on. Yep. Gain some yield. And convergence. We're still well short on the knowledge we're looking for. Gain a bunch of inspiration. Salvage glyphs. Let's take basket apart. Let's take join the basic continual apart as well. Okay, knowledge and safety. Large building, scrubland, safety, a little bit of pain out here. Do have some other safety-giving stuff. There's an event here, Sleeping Rough. Let us try to get the large building done. We need the House of Healing. Start foray. Okay, House of Healing. Okay, that's a safety one too. That is perfect, actually. Yeah, so we can't grab the common dining hall, but we can grab the public school here. Just a life. Yeah, I want to keep these other two ones for the next stage. Public school, the future of education. Ah, yes, and the students get to... Oh, I didn't realize that before. So previously, the students had... I picked this option, like, let the children decide, and they chose the monk. And it had, like, a little bit about why they justified that. But apparently, the children choose at random. Interesting to see. Now let us choose the scholar. Parents decide to invest in rigor, discipline, and a future outside of the settlement. Yeah, extra homework. And this is the same event, the same outcome the children gave us. So, yeah, the children choosing the scholar gives us the same outcome as us choosing the scholar ourselves. So all 4A goals increase, we gain a study glyph at the start of each stage. The cleverest students thrive under the monk's strict instruction. The ones less interested in scholarship begin to dread their lessons, and resent being sent home with scrolls full of assignments. At least I think this was just the same outcome. It was definitely more positive when the children chose to go with the monk, the scholar, of their own free will. I can't remember if there was another thing appended to the relic or not, but... Anyway, House of Healing. Stubborn patients grumble as they're forced to rest, yet nothing eases their pain as well as the masters of this house. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Now, painted pillars, thistle fields, painted pillar into dancing windsock seems more likely to happen. Grab you there. And then I guess we're just taking this bit of a blessing here. Yep. Just use these things. No point in keeping a secret, I think. Looking for crafts. Oh, that's all good. Just keep those, whatever. Free draw. Yep, dancing windsocks. There, that's last by yield. Now, what do we want over here? We have up life. Gonna be hard pressed to get down to the paper studio though. Bramble Hollow, Rabbit Warren, Monastery of the Wilds. Washing shed into thatching yard. I mean, we do want the knowledge. Anyway, so Monastery of the Wilds would need... Yeah. Both of these things. We can split to help get that life if we need. Which I think we might need to. Take the curse and then head down Monastery of the Wilds, even though that's the Harmony route. Yep. Oh no, because we're not going to have the appropriate connection there to actually head down there. Wanted to go this route, and that would be life, craft, stability, radiance. Yeah, that's a lot of doubling up. We can get the paper mulberry grove at least, which is 5 knowledge. Yeah, and then we are well short on what we need here. Oh, let's just use the card for the yield and end. Yashia, Healing House, after its House of Healing. Buy, chirp, cat. Gain food. That's draw and inspire, which is Not that bad. Let us try a reroll though. Okay, illusion. I'll take illusion. There we go. Now we're getting all the knowledge we wanted. High knowledge, bit of beauty. So, where do I reckon we want to go? Ooh, Fox event down there. Seeing any other green events scattered around? Brain dance up there. I think let's go down on the river. The mountains, river, scrubland. A kappa, that's fine. Kappa only affects non-goal yields. Yep. Let's start the foray. So, yeah, the fox is associated with the weeping willows, which is good. That's the high beauty point there. Oh, it's even non-goal gained here, not over the whole thing. Yeah, the kappa is really, really, like, non-offensive as a haunting. Like, it's very kind to us what it does. Silkweaver's Hut has an event, a different weave. Dragon's Rest also be pretty good for us here. So let us just grab the Weeping Willows, make our way down there. Yep, a fox pointer. It's pointing. Rumors spread about foxes appearing at night by the riverside. Townspeople suspect they have a burrow nearby. The more interesting rumors claim that these foxes are spirits guarding the trees. One night, someone notices a group of foxes gathered under a willow. They seem to be plotting something, and one of them appears to be pointing towards the stream with its paw. Foxes training in disguise. Yep. Yeah, you can see them practicing their skill. Well, this is a very nice little painting here. The foxes trying on clothes, looking around, pretending to be people. Very nice. Now, the actual event is we need to investigate a fox acting strangely. Stay hidden and observe the foxes? That seems like the most investigate one here, like investigating the actual foxes. Approaching them seems a bit too bold. Like, yeah, we need to investigate the foxes rather than what they're pointing towards, I think. So let's stay hidden and observe. The foxes hide behind the willows, the settlers hide behind the willows away from the foxes and observe. By midnight, most of the foxes depart. The one who was pointing remains. Soon, the reason becomes apparent. There's a large splinter stuck in its front paw and it's trying to get it out, unsuccessfully. Too tired and hurt to run away when one of the settlers approaches. But after a minor struggle, the splinter's removed and the fox hobbles away, presumably grateful. Some foxes begin to see people as potential allies. Good outcome. Okay, yeah, so rather than the expand, I think I'll just grab the Smoldering Crater there. So we have life. I'll use that life. And this here to get the Amber Monastery in. And we're working towards getting the Dragon's Rest. Yep. Slot that in there. I would quite like to see that event too, so this thing I think we will just recycle a couple of cards in. See what we pull. Okay, yep, you can go into the mulberry patch. You can go there, get the Dragon's Rest. Oh, and redraw hand. Yep, and then that'll tackle that. Silkweaver's Hut. A different weave. Lose Harmony, get a Bay, get the Silk. One of 2 relics. Yeah, first time you cast Discard, it's skipped. First time you store Inspiration, draw a glyph. Let us, yep, take one of these 2 relics. Okay, Silk Loop. First discard we cast is skipped. And then, whatever we really want to do here. Go 1, conjure. Okay, Crane Nesting Grounds is the one you went into. Let us kill another here. Okay, you went there. Not quite ideal, I don't think. I mean, we can hit the riverbank here. And I could split this and get a lot, actually. Yeah, let's do so. Let me think. I can... Yeah, let's pacify you first, so I can get all the way down to the Floating Lantern Festival. You know what? Yeah, we use the Yenny Essence. And we will recycle something. Oh, that put something on top. I didn't bother to check what that was. Yeah, not something useful. Again, Wolf Inspiration back, and the foray. Tonagashi, Lantern Flow, after its festival. Ooh, philosophy. Expand 1 adds enlightenment to the top of the deck. Otherwise just has a lot of nice essences. We'll take it. Still short on knowledge. High beauty yield this time. You know what? Too high. Let's see if I can grab something else. Ugh. Productivity and food. Also not quite knowledge. Market cats. That is a... Yep, that's a cat event. Let's try... Yep, just grabbing for the town here. A haunting. Okay, yeah. Making me lose safety. I can probably afford to lose some safety here. Okay, marketplace. There, that'll give me some of the productivity, as well as the thing I'm looking for. Just split you up. Grab the notice board. Now, food, productivity here. I can go food into productivity, even if I can go granary first. Yeah. Complain at me all you want, little goblin dingy. Yeah, Crimson Spirit. Makes them sick with their touch. So, do I really... I can't be bothered pacifying you. We'll just lose a whole bunch of safety here. So you go there, into the workshop. Anyone can use the tools stored here. The whole community benefits. I want to go on the life over here in the granary. And we want to go on the connections. I probably should just slot one of you into here, because I cannot readily use this any further down, so slot that in there. You can go over here into the marketplace. You know what? Actually, let's go... Actually, it really doesn't matter that much, does it? Just looking at the combination here. No, yeah. You go over there into the marketplace. Get the cat event. Market cats. The market's roofs have become a home for many stray cats. They started showing up out of the wilderness one by one, and by now every stall has its own stall cat. The merchants consider the cats to be good luck charms, spirits blessing their businesses. As such, whenever cats from competing shops scrabble, everyone watches with bated breath. The winning cat is thought to bring great luck to the businesses it patronizes. Okay, deal with the roof cats. Yeah, not too much guidance there. So, declare the luckiest cat the town's patron spirit. Merge the stalls to pull the blessings. Mandate compensation for the cats. Ask scholars to explain the symbolism. Let's merge stalls to pull the blessings. That seems the most deal with it option. An enterprising merchant comes up with an idea. If 2 stalls are merged, they'll have 2 cats, and therefore double the blessings. At first she has trouble convincing the others, but after the first merged stall ends up with a monopoly on sake sales, the rest of the merchants catch on, planting the seeds of a cartel economy in the Shard's future. Not the outcome we were looking for. It did give us a lot of productivity though. That it did. I think we'll just use that and then let's keep a secret. Yeah, and then let's lose a bunch of disease. Yeah, having them added to the hand does not count as drawing them, unfortunately. Yeah, thank you, snake. Weaving house. Can run a fill, potentially, if I do the rest of this. Like, if I go noodle stall. Yep, into all this. Fermentation lodge. I really should just get rid of this little bugger. Yep. Slot you. Go away. Slot you in there. Oh, right, we're getting the any essences too. They're useful. Slot you in there. See what this event is. Ah, yes, the vinegar tasters. If it's bitter, we take accept. If the vinegar is sweet, the chief takes a spoonful and smiles. She thinks vinegar tastes perfect as it is. This is brewed naturally for centuries, she says. Forcibly dilute it will only spoil it. Yep, that gives us flow. Continue 1, satisfy 2. And yeah, we'll just use the fill, I guess. Or mushroom muchness, which one we use here. Weaving house. From coarse hemp to ornate silk, each spool carries the efforts of the town's weavers. Oh, and we pulled disease. Well, that's very well done, song. Didn't think that one through, did I? The Tarudaira barrel flats after its fermentation lodge. Cherry, chirp. And that's just a draw. We'll take chirp. Regional survey. You encounter stuff down there, and also kind of the area. Ooh, a couple of new encounters up here. Let's head up into this little patch of desert. Visions in the desert. Now we can see the desert. We cannot follow the visions. Well then, let's just observe them to gain some beauty. Missing rations. Choose a food glyph, gain some harmony. Let us choose a food glyph. Medicine? Medicine's good. I will take medicine. Wild fruits. Let us cook the fruit. Gain some food. Hapless Carter. And dismantle the cart. Yeah, dismantle the cart. Gain that cartwheel. I just want to gain the harmony now. Let's gain the cartwheel. Shoot. And then continue on. The mudslide. Yep, cannot readily do this stuff. So we will slot you in there. Keep a secret. Redraw the hand. Still did not get the craft we were looking for. I guess we'll go this route instead. Clear a path. Yep. That could have been the craft bit. The white dog. This one is new. The survey team is approaching the edge of a shard one evening. Okay, yeah, so this one will be contextually locked behind being near the edge. As the setting sun sets the cloud sea on fire, turning it the colour of ripe persimmons. Clouds are gathering around their feet, obscuring the path ahead. As they stop to refresh themselves by a tiny waterfall, a patch of fog detaches from the clouds further up the path and resolves into the shape of a white dog. Its fur blends into the floating wisps, and every few moments it disappears, only to reappear further ahead on the path. Okay, so follow the dog, call out to the dog, observe from a distance. I'm curious about all of these. Let's try calling out to the dog. One of the scouts calls out softly to the animal. For a moment, the dog looks back at the group with intelligent eyes, then quickly vanishes into the clouds. We take hide. That is a nice glyph to be able to reliably get off one of these events. Continue Divine 4. Quite good. Yep, let's just gain a little bit of yield that we can. And the survey, we still need some more knowledge. Let's reroll. Okay, it's asking us for knowledge now. That is nice. It's whereabouts we want to go to get knowledge. Desert, scrubland. Desert, scrubland. Yeah, just kind of in here somewhere. I could do desert, scrubland, steppe. Yeah, let's go for these three. And the haunting here. Okay. A particular site in, yeah, the steppes, everything is being eaten by giant rats. So, oh, got this event again. We're getting this a lot. And that would be some productivity. Kind of wanted to go for the step productivity though. I mean, this is kind of a knowledge, and then this is adventure. Down to the Vanishing City if we can. Let's aim for it. Yeah, curse and split, that's fine. Take the Mirage Gate. Let's see what this last option is. Let's attempt to force our way through. After a quick preparation, one scholar triggers a mechanism at the bottom of the gate buried in the sand. The gate shimmers for a moment, then drowns the desert with an ear-shattering boom. The rescue effort takes hours. The gate remains standing, a narrow mark on its weathered stone. Lose a bunch of safety for trying that. Okay. The Vanishing City will get us, yeah, all the knowledge and adventure we actually need. You know what, we're probably going to finish up after this, so I can just use the automatic since I don't have the hardwood need to actually get the craft out of this. So we can continue using this. Probably the outcome we want to work towards here. Will let us... Let's see, yeah, we can slot you in there. You in there. Continue on, satisfy 2. Cool. Yeah, waiting on the craft quite a lot now. Study will give us wisdom if we despair, which is a guaranteed craft. We like that. And I guess, Snake, you keep hold of that for me. Okay, yep, we did get some crafting stuff. We can take the pottery kiln. We can stick you in there. Take the Vanishing City. Now, actually drawing 50% chance to draw Radiance if I draw one card. 20% chance to draw a... Yeah, you draw the craft, so let us slot you in there. We'll try for the draw in a second. I'll just think what I want to do over on this side. We can conjure you into that to go Bramble Hollow, Rabbit Warren, Mulberry into Paper Mulberry. Yeah, let's go there, Rabbit Warren, because I like rabbits. Can't go for the event, not while keeping the draw, unfortunately. We can guarantee to draw a connection. We'll see what connection we pull here. Okay. Blessing. Yeah, not making much of a difference for us. But we can... Actually, I'm just thinking, are we going to... Yeah, we're going to even ignore the discard on this, so I can just do this safely. Perfect. Yep, slot you in there. Painter's Ceramics Workshop. A cup may quench thirst, but a painted cup quenches the thirst of the soul. And can't get both of those, we'll just bless to gain some extra harmony out of this. Look at that, we are on exactly 0 safety. Shimon, Mirage Gate, after its Mirage Gate. Which blew everyone up. Take overnight, since that's the rarest one here. Yep. And I do believe, yeah, we meet the requirement for the shard culture, so we'll just finish up here. We'll kind of tackled events as we found them. We'll have the opportunity to move on at a later point. Need to find a cliff, get that car puppet on a different shard. Finish the expedition. Kiyu Mebara, a healer's rest. 268 insight gained. Various things discovered. Yeah, that's why I wanted to get the Painted Ceramics Workshop, because I knew I'd never built it before, so now that's logged in the archives. Go to select a glyph to keep. Do I want overnight or philosophy? Action craft. Satisfy all store. Expand 1 adds enlightenment to the top. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Let us store philosophy. And then return to the haven. Now, look how many people are rattling around the haven now these days. It's certainly getting busier. Now, before we finish up for today, we will, of course, go ahead and check our shard culture history as it's revealed. We're over in the land of bottled lightning. One invention led to another, and it wasn't long before the capital's nighttime streets were bright with thousands of charcoal lamps that burned no fuel. These lightning-powered lanterns lengthened the days, but emitted a constant high-pitched hiss and a low thrum, making silence a rare commodity. Check the end of the turning society. Historians note that the people here view the shattering not as the result of a sin, but of a temporary lapse in society's judgment. Just as they remind a criminal of their goodness to restore them, they tend to the land with gentle care, as if reminding the soil of all the gifts it has given them. Paper distributors, well, they've invented newspapers. With reading materials suddenly cheap and plentiful, few of the inhabitants remain illiterate. Seeing a willing market, private publishers have begun producing weekly lists of auspicious glyphs of newly invented invocations alongside the traditional holy texts. This has become a big worry for the priests, afraid that these unauthorized claims will dilute the true doctrine. It usually goes unsaid, they are perhaps equally worried about having competition with much more appealing offerings. And the fractured states. On Kenko Iwa, the concept of a neighbour is synonymous with threat. Soon after the land was settled, trust eroded, and settlements withdrew into themselves, evolving into tiny paranoid city-states. Travellers will find the spaces between them desolate, the roads deliberately destroyed to keep others from getting too close. Oh, and only 2 shard cultures go. The Inkless lands, which should be real easy, just need to make sense to grab the poem from that event we know it's at. And Gourmand's Heaven, which is food-based. And the very last thing to do for today, look at unlocking some stuff. What do I want to grab? I mean, glyph reward rerolls. I have been using more of these, and this has some stuff gated behind it. So that's probably a pretty tempting one. Longer surveys, potentially also useful just to see more of those events, like I'm trying to. Let's grab more glyph reward rerolls. Cool. And I could also grab the Restore Inspiration, some of the remainder. Let's do that too. It's only a tiny trickle of restored, but maybe it will come in useful. At the very least, there's something else gated behind that as well. I do think, with our current progress on the quest, we need to find a quest for a cliff to proceed on the main story quest, and we've gotten a lot of animals, either now as pets or on the progress of. Let's see if we can spot them. There's the tiger. Down there. There's the tanuki, down by the lake. There's around, where they're hiding. There's the snake. In the trees. Fish, yep. In the water there. Cool. Yeah, new animals, new companions. The critter collection is increasing. But I do think, my friends, that's probably going to be about it for today. So, thank you very, very much for watching. Folks who kind of come in over the course of today, watch me. Thank you very, very much for any old stream folks out there. Yeah, I've been really, really enjoying this game. It is really something quite good. The presentation, the delivery, how it builds, even just the music and little things like that are quite excellent. Now, I should be back once again next Thursday, same time, same place, all that good stuff. And yeah, hope I'll see you all next time. But for now, goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Bye.